Hey, everybody. How we all
Good
doing out
evening.
there? Yay. Late applause, as usual, as with most things in my life. The late recognition, the late applause, the late thank. It's it's there
Your
apparently.
wife walking into the room and telling you she's late again.
That happens. I might be pulling a fucking Mary Jane mind controlled leap. You know, that might be happening sometime in the future. So yeah, man, we haven't talked for a while. How have you been? How's the
Oh, I've
job
been
and
good.
everything?
It's yeah, it is what it is. It's a job. It's nine. I would
Mhm.
say 9 to 5, but it's more like 8 until 8 o'clock at night. Lately, it's a lot of stuff, but it
Yeah,
keeps
but
me
it's
busy.
it's 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 a holdover until you get what you want. But it's also a
Yeah,
job. So that's the best. That's the
exactly.
main thing.
It
That's the
is
main
what it is until I figure out like where I'm going. I don't know. I start to feel like I'm kind of done with the whole IT thing and want to do something else altogether.
It sucks
I don't know.
because there's just so much money right there. Like at most IT jobs, comparatively I'm saying.
Compared to
Well,
some
you
things.
you live over in Arizona. If you were making what you make there and lived here, you'd live on the same hill as I do and go through the same gate I do every day.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you
Well, yeah,
wouldn't.
if there was,
Yeah.
believe me, it's yeah, it's well, yeah. This is the thing that like actually has people leaving Phoenix. After COVID, the whole one of the many things have people leaving besides the lack of water that everyone's afraid of is they're just running out of water. Colorado, like
They're just
all of
just
they're
running
quite
out of water.
literally, yeah. Well, it's a desert, and they just kept building in it. Like, oh, water will just be here. Wait, you mean you're in a desert and there's limited water? We never thought of that. So we paved like 150 miles in every direction and just started building shit.
We were just gonna add pipes. That's what we were gonna do. It's gonna be
Hmm.
pipes.
That's not even a joke. They've talked about building a
I
desalinization pipe
that I do know.
from
Yes.
the Baja of Mexican, like the Baja of
Hmm.
California, all the way the hell into the valley. Because yeah, we built a pipe system that literally sucks water out of the Colorado River far north and pumps it into Phoenix, basically, like some
That's a
magic thing.
dude. That's a Pixar movie in itself. The water that travels from the Colorado River to get to
Pretty
the end of
much.
the end of the movie is you standing there going, "It looks like shit." Like that's the
Yeah,
end of the
pretty much.
movie.
It's all muddy. But yeah, it's it is what it like. Yeah, it's Phoenix is what it is. But the problem we have here is that like when the whole giant inflation happened all over the country, Phoenix is
Right.
one of the worst cities hit by it.
Yeah.
People want to tell me it's 20. It's this. I'd say it's at the minimum 30, but in some cases almost 50% inflation, and just across if you average everything out across
Dude,
the board, costs
listen,
of housing, gas, food.
where I live, people get mad when gas goes over $3. So
Oh, they should. But yeah, so
so
inflation
like
went crazy. Wages did not rise in Phoenix. Like Phoenix wages are severely low for what it costs to live here because the cost of living here isn't.
right compared to the cost, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's not
some people might
California, but we're
yeah.
like 15% off California right
Some
now.
people might hear the dollar an hour figure and be like, "Well, I'd kill for that." And it's like, "Yeah, but you live where you live." Like
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
differences. There's a
Oh,
reason
yeah.
why I have the job I have and where I picked to live. That wasn't like a mistake. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
I mean, well,
that was
and
the
most of the southeast is kind of like that. Like, well, and Texas is parts of Texas are like that. Like Dallas is a little pricey, but if you're in like outside of Houston communities where the gas just comes out of you stick a hose in the ground and
yeah, you
the
just
fuel comes
flip
out.
over a rock
Yeah,
and there's
they're
gas
mad
right
there
there.
when gas is $2. I was there when I was there, all the way the hell down along the water in either Galveston or Brownsville. Gas is like a buck fucking 50, dude.
That's that's amazing. That
Yeah,
there's much of a difference. But I mean, like I said, it's location, where you live,
that's all
what
about
you're
location.
doing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
gas is one thing, but yeah, it's just it's extremely expensive to live here. But everybody has worked very hard to keep the prices, the pay in kind of a position. But AI
Right.
and data centers are the data centers is for providing some IT work for people, but
For how
companies'
long?
reliance on AI
Yeah,
is
there you go. There you
yeah
go.
they well, and that's the thing they think that they can they think they can replace people with it. So everybody's working basically like, here's a co-pilot license, and we're not going to hire the three extra
Right.
people you could probably use
Right.
to make you function properly. So
So it's why I'm
that's what
glad.
it is.
So last week at my job, they basically gave me a spot where it's basically I got basic like tenure, like I can't be fired, and I'll do the. I have one more contract. I'll probably sign one more contract after this for probably like 4 or 5 years, possibly, probably the back end of like the last year doing nothing, like, and then I'm gonna be done, man. I'm gonna be done. I'm done.
I
I
want to
am
be,
out.
well, I don't know if I don't think I'm going to be done in 5 years, but I think in 5 years I'll have my finances in the right place to probably do something else and step back from the excess,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
management, corporate shit, all the rest of that stuff.
Gray.
If they, you know what's funny about that, Gray? And I've got to remember the name of this device, but there is actually a device now that exists that will pull moisture from the air and turn it into water. There is a version of it. It's quite expensive for that one, but it will make up like to almost 100. Was it 100 gallons a day or 50 gallons a day? I can't remember, but either way, it's enough to run a home off of. There are devices like that. Now, if you're in a place like anywhere but Arizona where there's plenty of humidity in the air, they work very well. But it will still work in Arizona. Just
Yep.
fucking wild to me. You want to really get off grid? I mean, they can keep technology moving like that, dude. There's like I was, it was funny. I was talking to one of the Zennials around my workplace, kind of making the general Zennial complaint. I can't, or Zoomer complaint, or whatever. I can't afford a house, and he's not wrong. Like the market in Phoenix has been wrecked because those of us who bought during the COVID era, or the like in between the collapse, that in between the collapse and before like a rebound came in the COVID era, any of us who
Mhm.
bought homes in like 2015, well, 20, maybe 2013, 2015 era, up until like COVID, until the inflation hit, the houses exploded. We all bought at, we bought with a, what do you want to call it? Basically an instrument or a financial instrument or an interest rate so low that it will never occur again. Like I will not let go of my 3.25% mortgage for shit because I cannot buy another home and upgrade even though I've my home is worth twice what I bought it for. Easy.
Mhm.
But if I was to buy anything else anywhere else around here, I'd just be
Yeah,
house
you're
poor. So
screwed.
yeah,
You're
why
screwed.
sell it?
Yeah,
Well,
there's
that's
no
the
point.
thing. I mean, I'm screwed, but it's also this is what's happening in the market in Phoenix. Nobody's
Well,
selling.
that's I just meant like anybody. Anybody
Yeah,
is screwed. Like
everybody's screwed. So
under the
yeah,
same
and because of
circumstance.
all of the building, the I don't live far from the TSMC plant, so home prices are still going up
Mhm.
because they're expanding, they're bringing more bodies in, and
Mhm.
they don't, there's not a lot of homes already built for them yet, so the prices are going back up on my house. But that's everywhere, and I was telling him like, dude, what you should do is get the hell out of the city, buy land somewhere, not in the city. Look into the technology. I was talking to him about the technology pulls water out of the air. I'm like, for 10 grand, you could get a what is it called? One of those like shipping container homes that like folds out. Like it isn't a
Mhm.
home like a ranch home, but it's something you could buy land for cheap somewhere outside of the city. You can get
Dig a
Starlink and be on
hole
the
and
internet.
live
Yeah,
in
dig
it.
a hole. You I dude I went down the rabbit hole of dudes building
Oh
man
yeah.
bunkers in their
Mhm.
backyard, basically
Yeah.
digging up the ground, and I'm like, I've got 3,000 square foot on the side yard. Get in there with a fucking backhoe and
Yeah, dude,
pour
that
some
would be dope
cement
as
and do
shit.
it. But like I was saying, like even for just ready made stuff, there's you can buy property cheap. You can buy a container home, boom, put it on the property. Get something to run your water. Get solar for your electric. Get Starlink for your internet, and you have most of the convenience homes inside the city have. And you can do all of that for cheaper than what you're paying for a house right now, by far. And then you have land and you can cultivate it, develop it, maybe build a house on it someday when things are more affordable. But this at least gets you something, and you're not pouring all of your money into rent that will never turn into anything.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well,
I got him thinking, and he was like, "Oh man, that's." I was like, "Yeah, just don't buy land, and even land in Arizona is also overpriced now too, which sucks." But
yeah, there's so many things that go into that. I'm glad I don't. I hope I never have to do that again. because I'm just gonna be like,
It,
here,
it
take
would
all my
cost you a couple
cash.
grand just to move
Goodbye.
move your studio out of your house. Just man hours.
You know, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. But
Oh,
so so what I happened, they gave me they were like, you know, we'll give you another car. I was like, cool. So the first thing I did is I went and took my drug test, and I will never be drug tested ever again. So
yeah.
I smoked a bowl, and that was interesting. That was it. I haven't smoked in forever, and it usually doesn't sit right with me, but for some reason it worked perfectly fine. And then I went out with my friend John during we were gonna go during lunch, but I was in this meeting, so we went and saw the 3 p.m. showing of Spider-Man: Brand New Day,
There
and
you go. Yeah, you went
I was
roughly around the same time I did then.
I was pleasantly surprised, man. By the way, this is gonna be full spoilers, guys. So
Yeah,
spoilers, because we're
yeah,
too
lots of
old
spoilers coming down
to
here.
remember what you know. I'm just saying it now, and it says it in the title. So it's gonna be spoilers. Um, and yeah, so I either way, um, I thought this was pretty. Just overall feeling, I liked this movie a lot
Well,
actually.
I think it so, and this is, and we'll get into also into other people's kind of opinions of it, but this played beat for beat like a Spider-Man story, like a Spider-Man comic, like
Yeah, it felt like a
not like just
storyline,
a
like an arc.
movie. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I will say, like, one of the things that, like, even I felt that I had, even I didn't like how much other characters had the spotlight in the Superman movie. That was one of the faults I felt with it.
Mhm.
Like, one of the best things about this was the other characters that came, like Frank and even Banner, but they
Mhm.
used them so appropriately. They
Mhm.
had it. The timing was good. The way they interacted was good, and it never made you feel like anybody had the spotlight but Tom as Peter. It was a Spider-Man movie. Period.
And
With
he was amazing. That was the first
dude,
performance of his that I was like, "Holy shit,
that's the one thing
it's
that everybody,
amazing."
like, everyone else has been saying, and they were saying on FNT. I think most people agreed on FNT except for Ball. He I don't know if him and Toby sat down and had a real talk about it. Like, he embodied Peter Parker so well.
Yeah.
And what I will say is, like, I don't think you get this performance out of him, and it was great. Like eh, like, if there was a real Academy Award for, like, people who embodied a character appropriately, really did some character work, like, he should be nominated for something because it was fantastic.
Mhm.
He nailed it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
and I
know
don't think
nothing
you get it
about the
without all the
movie
other
award,
movies.
but I thought he did an excellent job. It was the
No,
first time watching any of the Marvel Spider-Man movies, the MCU ones, where I was like,
yeah,
"Oh, that's Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man."
yeah. Well, and I don't think you necessarily get that without the previous movies, though. I think some of this awkwardness that he was in the previous movies, and he was never really, like, he was always more Peter than he was Spider-Man. A bit
Mhm.
a dopey kid that didn't get it. But I like the arc of the maturity, because now you've gone through, like, the high school Spider-Man years, and now you've got kind of this young adult Spider-Man that was a different Peter. Like, early Peter was a very different guy, a very different character, a very different Spider-Man versus who we saw in this movie, and who you like. If you go read Spider-Man today, I don't recommend it, but
No, out of well,
read Spider-Man in the '90s.
Spider-Man 1000 comes out next week, which
I'm
is
gonna I'm gonna pick it up. There's some
which
interesting
there's
covers.
some that's what I was about to say. It's the covers thing, but I have, all the issues from this run, and it sucks that it's Joe Kelly because he's had a pretty decent
He
running
did in
as
the
Spider-Man.
past. He had a
Like,
good, short of, except for him and Dan Slott swapping off arcs with each other. Joe Kelly
right.
always had the better arc. I'm gonna say that. I'm sorry. I'm a Joe Kelly fan from, and I think I've pulled it down a million times before, the
Yes.
Deadpool days. I mean, he did such a great job on that Deadpool. He got, like, upgraded into X-Men. Like,
Right.
that's
And
how great he did. And his X-Men was
there's
his
it's
X-Men
highs
did it
and
his way.
lows.
Yeah,
highs and lows.
it was not consistent. Is the main fault I would give it. There were some
Yeah.
very interesting arcs, some very interesting parts to it. Some weird
Well,
characters.
nowhere near as his run's nowhere near as bad, but that's how like I tell people like the JMS J. Michael Straczynski Spider-Man is. He has stuff in there that I loved, but also some of my most hated Spider-Man
Well,
stuff
it's,
ever.
the easily the most controversial thing ever done with Spider-Man. It tops Clone
Correct.
War or Clone Saga by a
Saga.
fucking mile. And I actually, so there's something in this movie that when we get to it, I have something about this movie that
Yeah.
I'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, not just the title alone of Brand New Day kind of playing in that
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
area, but
They're doing the day era.
the day, yes, the day
Yeah.
thing. Well, I mean, they technically they did that the last movie. No Way Home was kind of the cinematic universe's version of
Right,
that.
equivalent of that. Yeah, you must
Yeah,
forget. But
yeah, exactly.
so I think a good place to start is not going beat by beat just because I won't remember everything. But just we'll first talk about the characters. We're gonna get this right out in the open just because I don't want to skip around this. So they have so for everybody who doesn't want to know, even though I don't know how you couldn't know.
Oh, it's
Um,
leaked everywhere. I mean, I don't know how you go into this
so
movie not knowing it, even
well
if you're
here's
avoiding spoilers.
yeah. So there's only a few characters that they would use that could do what this character was doing. And by process
Yeah,
of elimination, you're really just gonna come on. Like
yeah. Well,
anyway,
I had this much thought that are they using the Purple Man?
um, until I saw the body hopping though. That's when I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
that's
where I was like, that's where I was like, okay, that's weird, but could it be? Could it be? I don't know, some iteration of Purple Man, maybe. I would love to see David Tennant back in the role, but you don't hear his voice. They don't give you any clue. But I thought maybe they're hiding it, they're masking it a little bit. Could be.
right. It
So
would be
I was like,
interesting.
I mean, I knew that this person was in it, but I was like, to what effect are
Well,
they
yeah,
in it?
yeah.
But
So basically the antagonist is Jean Grey. And
yeah,
it's an antagonist. She does bad stuff. There's no
yes,
way around it. She commits tons of crimes,
yeah,
does some horrible things, but
it's
they
kind of
give
like
her
Scarlet Witch in the WandaVision
right.
show.
Kind
Yeah,
of, except you could see the top of that, like of her thing. It didn't like there
yeah,
was a dome over top of it. Like I didn't understand some of the other people think if you're flying an airplane and and I was like, dude, you can see the top.
yeah,
I, from what we saw, Frank was on the outside of it, and as long as you're not inside of it, you're cool.
yeah,
So, yeah, they're fine. But so you get the feeling like, all right, so where are they going with this? Because what I felt was it felt like there was another movie or another story they're trying to tell and set up inside of a Spider-Man movie. That's what it
yeah.
kind of felt like. And that's
Well,
the only thing that I could even hold against the movie was just like cuz my buddy John was very like this is very like disjointed some of it. And I was like, yeah, the stuff with Gene is kind of like all over the place. But they kept it
yeah,
kind of grounded like you have to read a lot to understand that like your expectation of what mutants are is not always what it's going to be.
yeah.
Like they're not always going to just adapt the Chris Claremont run. Like that's not
Well,
what they're going to
yeah.
do. They
And
could
I
they
mean,
could use any iteration they want to. The
yeah, they
mutants
have tons of.
aren't always good guys. They're just
And
not.
what we saw today, in all honesty, one thing I will give them for this iteration of Jean Grey, this Jean Grey at least has character because Chris Claremont's Jean Grey. I'm not gonna love Chris
Ugh.
Claremont, but Jean Grey is fucking
Listen,
boring,
man.
short of Dark Phoenix.
You read like the whole first volume of like the first omnibus, dude. Like, dude, the first half of it is not good. It's not, dude. It's like
Yeah,
fucking. There's cool parts like where they go into space and that stuff happens, but it's pretty boring. Eric the fucking Red, like seriously, like
oh yeah.
okay,
Well,
you know,
dude, even just from a Jean Grey standpoint, she's just they've never no the and I have the same kind of fault with Cyclops. is that, and I think Cyclops has had at least different times to be more interesting. Jean Grey is never like outside of the Phoenix Saga stuff. She's
Mhm.
never had a lot of. There's never been strong character development. I feel like for Jean Grey, it's
No,
been
and
like Dark
anything that
Phoenix
right.
is all that it is, and it was great, but
And her like coming back as Jean Grey and having to like deal with the rot of Phoenix. You know, like, oh,
yeah,
you blew up a planet. Hey, we're gonna take you to space court. You know, like
yeah, exactly
that's like
that.
her storylines. Or oh, Scott, I don't know whose dick I want to sit on. Like it's like, all right,
Yeah,
okay,
well, that's a. It's just, I don't know. I've never really cared a shit ton about the character. Like I like hot redheads. That's cool. Like, but other than the way she's drawn, she's never stood out as a character in the X-Men for me as somebody that like did anything but like be a very powerful telepath. She's just
yeah,
a
right.
god being, and
And then whenever like she was running after her sister, dude, all I hear running up that hill, running up
well,
that
and
hill.
so that was the thing I felt, at least in this movie. Like they gave her some character. Like there
Mhm.
was at least something a bit more to her. She was interesting at least. Like in the comics,
Yeah,
she's rarely ever that engaging, that
very
interesting. She's got,
rarely interesting.
yeah, she has a background that they pull. Like if this is the way they're trying to set up X Men, which it's very obviously is, or
Yeah,
at least this character from X Men, her background or whatever. I don't feel bad about it. Like I'm interested to see where they're gonna go. Now there's
yeah,
a whole bunch of shit to happen with like casting and what story are we getting? Are we gonna get the rumored, oh, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X version of the X Men with Magneto and Charles Xavier that nobody, even the creators, ever really wanted to ask for,
yeah.
but
That's so stupid that people say that, and it's like, dude, Stan Lee didn't start saying that until people like were trying to put that allegory together, and he was like, "Yes, that's what I did."
yeah,
No, you
sure.
didn't,
Except for
dude.
all those times I said that I just made mutants because I was tired of inventing
Yeah,
superpower
and
backstories.
what? Yes, he said it like so many times. Like I'm just tired of creating all these backstories and all this stuff. And X stands for extra power. Like
Except,
you know, like where it's like, dude, there's literally in issue number 3, there is a scene where Professor X is like Jean's, it's like her first mission going out, and all the guys are like, ah, scribbly doodly doo, I want to escort Jean to the car, you know, and they're all like, this skippy
yeah.
scappadoo. And Professor X is wheeling his ass away, right? And he's literally going, oh, how could I do this to the woman that I love? And I'm like, she's 16, dude. Martin Luther King, everybody.
Well,
Like,
I
what are we
mean,
talking about? What are we talking about?
yeah. I don't know about I don't know some of the things you hear about the FBI catching him in back in the day, but that's
Yeah,
a
but
whole other conversation.
my point of the matter is they
Yeah,
weren't that's not what they were trying to do.
no,
That's
I've
not
heard.
even remotely what they were trying to do.
I've heard. Well, it's probably fan casting stuff, but I've heard people talking about Adam Driver being Magneto, and I'm like, you know, yeah, I'd be down for that. In all honesty, but again, or Disney owns the rights to the X Men. So as
Mhm.
much as I like the presentation of Jean Grey here, I have no hope for the X Men. This was a Sony film. Let nobody forget. Sony did this, and one of the things, or a lot of the things like that, I think Sony hit not just the beats on the movie, they hit the beats on the marketing because they kept Mark Ruffalo completely out of it. He's remarkably annoying when he talks to the camera, so Sony didn't invite him to anything. Like, good job. Like Sony, you get it. You get what's been hurting some films out there. The less we hear the actors talk, but other than like Tom, and I will even give her credit. I think she's in just everything too much, but Zendaya and Tom come off as fairly likable people actors. I even loved
Mhm.
at the beginning of the movie, Tom, like they have a little flash of like Tom's like, "Hey, thanks for coming to see this movie in the theater. We put a lot of work into this one. We did this one. This one's for you fans." This is like, I was like, "Oh, that's class act, nice guy." Seems like just a little blurb of that, like just to say thanks, fans, for coming to see it.
Well,
We made
I
this for
can't
you.
well, here's the weird thing though. So Sony, for what I know, I mean, you might have to look this up, but I'm pretty positive like most of the creative and production was all Marvel. I think Sony just financed this.
I thought Sony ran the movies, and then because like Kevin Feige is
Yes,
only a producer, but I thought they only
own
get like
no,
a chunk of it.
yeah, they get a very small cut of the movie because
Yeah,
they own the license. But I'm pretty positive this was a Marvel team did this movie. Pretty sure like Sony only financed this and
I don't.
produced it. I would have to look at it. Let me look this up
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
thought
pretty
it was. I
positive.
thought it was a different deal. I thought Sony, because Sony did all of the other. Sony has the rights to do all the other movies that
Yes,
they
they
did.
have the
Which,
rights to, but that doesn't. They have
yeah,
the rights to the character. It doesn't mean they it doesn't mean that they're gonna make everything. So okay, uh, Marvel Studios made most of the creative and production decisions for Spider-Man: Brand New Day, but Sony Pictures financed it, distributed it, and profited from it. Spider-Man: Brand New Day 2026 is the fourth blah 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 MCU, the fourth star Tom Holland. It's right in publishing rights. Sony has long held the live action rights, followed release of standalone Spider-Man.
they let them go after this.
Marvel Studios produced the film alongside Columbia Pictures and Pascal Pictures. Uh,
Yeah, that's right. Amy Pascal from
yeah,
Sony is
hmm
involved with it as well.
yep,
And yeah, it's a Columbia
uh,
Pictures joint.
yep, yeah. So Sony just financed and distributed it, so they're making the money off of it. So
I don't know
either way,
how.
here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that shocks me because the only two things that of Marvel relative interest that I've seen in years that are interesting is, well, this, which is more than interesting, but also Spider-Man Noir, and
Hmm
they don't even pretend that's a Marvel thing at all. But
No,
that was good.
yeah, Spider Noir was fun. I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it. So I watched it in black and white, and then I watched the first couple episodes in color, and I just was like, whatever. But
yeah,
I liked the overall story. I thought it was cool.
yeah. They did a good
I
job. It's probably one of the better Marvel televisions they've done, and they didn't
Oh, for sure.
put Marvel all over it. And the same with this movie. I don't, I don't know how Marvel that made, I don't know what the hell the last Marvel movie that was out, the Captain America one
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. I don't
Fantastic
know how
Four
like,
or whatever.
or yeah, even Fantastic Four. I don't know how that's the
Oh,
same
oh,
production house because it does not. The whole vibe is different.
mhm. It's just
Yeah,
Fantastic Four. Oh my god.
I still haven't seen it.
Imagine being able to solo Galactus because of mom power.
Yeah, are we just like can just ignore the
Anyway,
ultimate nullifier altogether? But
yeah, 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 exactly. So anyway, so yeah, so Jean Grey, I thought they did a cool job with her. I mean, it didn't that was the as much as I liked it, that was the big, I guess you would say, elephant in the room was that whole storyline because they got Metzger, right? And it would have I think it would might have been better if like you find out that globe, whatever they were called. What the hell were they called? The
aim or
no, it was the uh in the movie the damn it.
damage control.
Yeah, Department of Damage Control. Like, if you found out that was actually like run by Trask, you know what I mean? Like, and it
This
was
is
like
a good opportunity. Yeah,
a cover up.
if
But
you
they
would have
used
gotten some
Metzger,
Sentinel
just
stuff.
like all the
Well,
tech they had that from all the
so
villains they were using to make Sentinel tech.
one of the things I definitely got from that the software they were using is very obviously early Cerebro.
Yeah,
That thing they were
that's
building with
exactly
her,
what
the
they're doing.
application,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
technology they were using for to very obviously that's whatever however they come about it, they're going to steal it, pull it, whatever, and that's.
Right.
I
And
mean, as soon as I
obviously,
saw that, I'm like, that's looks like Timu
what's
Cerebro that hasn't been
right. And it
developed
felt
yet.
like to me when she was on the bus at the end, like it looks like she's going to upstate New York.
That's exactly what I thought. So I'm like, we good.
So
You got to lead it. So
yeah.
again, Sony Pictures being involved and having the rights. I mean, the other thing they have because they financed it is likely they had a lot of control over editorial and what made it
Probably
into the
final
film. What was
say
gonna,
on what is what,
yeah,
because apparently, like,
final
so
say on script. I'm sure.
right, and apparently, like, they wanted certain characters in, and then to make movie, and they're like, Marvel's like, no, but we'll do movie, and we'll allow these people to be in it, type thing.
Yeah,
So it is what it is, and I mean, the more bogged down with it, the less anybody's gonna give a shit.
yeah. Well,
I'm just glad we got a good movie, and I I felt I had zero expectations. I've given me
oh yeah. I
personally,
didn't know what to think.
I gave up on the MCU a couple years ago. I see the movies because I'm a fan. Um, but as far as like really giving a shit like I used to, no, I don't. I really don't. If it's
Yeah.
bad, oh well. Like I
Oh
listen,
yeah.
I'm a DC fan, so I am clubbed over the head with horrible movies. So,
You mean you didn't
yeah,
love Supergirl?
dude, Spider-Man made more domestically than Supergirl made. I'm pretty
That
sure.
was just on its Thursday night opening.
I think so. Like, it's like this movie is gonna pass $1 billion in like 2 days.
It's this is so the one thing I hope that Marvel can learn from this and maybe like talk to the people at Sony or whatever and have them come over and do some like, hey, can you do some? Can you want to do final pass on the X-Men movie we're working on? We
Mhm.
don't know what's going to happen with Doomsday. I mean, I know what's going to happen with Doomsday. It's going to be a giant mess that's going to be probably nearly unwatchable because of how many characters they put in it.
It's
That's
just
my
gonna be
expectation.
it's just so yeah, and I'm kind of glad that this stayed away from it, except for the end credit scene, which was just the spider tracking off
Spider-Man,
World.
yeah,
That was it.
Spider-Man will return.
Right.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah,
glad they stayed away from it because people were like,
yeah.
"Oh man, they need a movie to set up Doomsday." I was like, "They don't need anything to set it up because what could you set up?"
They have well, there is this is the thing that I think Doomsday's gonna have a hard time with this. Like, Infinity War had 10 years of setup, and it was
Yes,
mostly good setup,
yes,
and they knocked it out of the park, and then they shit the bed thereafter. But
yeah.
there's been no setup for Doomsday. You're just
No,
going into it
and
raw. I mean,
well,
you're not because there's going to be so much crappy TV and crappy sequels and the stuff that they're going to draw from that nobody's going to have watched. So even if you go in for the nostalgia berries of the Russo brothers, who
yeah, but we already had like
maybe
Beast and stuff in the MCU and this Miss Marvel thing, so we know mutants exist. So I
yeah
mean, I don't know if that's what you're talking about. What I'm saying is that the movie. I'm glad that it did not set up anything for Doomsday because I don't give a flying fuck about Doomsday.
yeah. No,
Personally,
I'm glad it was
I
just a
just
great
wanted a
Spider-Man story.
consolidated story that was
Yeah,
good, and I liked it
like
personally. Like
so.
I just don't think that Doomsday has enough to stand on. Like it just doesn't. Like the,
Well, I just think there's too much in it. There's gonna be too
well,
much
there's
going on. How do
well,
you do 2 hours with 50
oh, it's not gonna be
characters?
2 hours. That shit's gonna be like 3 hours long.
Yeah, and
That's gonna
even
be
at
like
3 hours, how do you do that many characters in
I
three
that
hours?
I don't know. You're not going to be giving stories to all of them. I don't know if they're just going to see them because of the incursions. Now, if they
It's gonna be like the end of In Game where it's just look, it's the X-Men and they're striking a pose and oh my god, the Guardians are over there striking a pose and oh the people from Wakanda are striking a pose and then that's gonna be like the whole third arc and then there'll be like 20 minutes at the end where they do
how
something.
you know they didn't know where they were going is like Multiverse of Madness. They had the Illuminati, and they could have talked about more of the incursions. If they're doing the Hickman Secret Wars, then there's a lot to live up to. Like I know older fans don't like it, but I do. I thought it
I
was
like the
good.
Hickman.
I
I
thought it
have
was
all the Hickman Secret Wars. I
I
enjoyed
thought
them.
it was much better than the 1984 one because I don't think people remember the 1984 one as much as they think they do. I just don't think they do.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that Hickman took what they did in 1984 and made kind of a more serious story. I mean, back
Right.
then it was. I'm not even sure
It
what
was
that one was from back then.
so
It was kind of a
so basically
retcon
the
of some
reason
things, but
no, it was a toy. There was a because of a toy line.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Jim Shooter signed a deal with the toy line, and they wanted comics for it. So that was like he wanted all the characters that got toys to be in it. That's literally what happened.
And then they got it was Secret Wars where we got the black costume from. That was kind of
That
the
is, yes. So like
biggest
Spider-Man goes
piece.
into this thing because his costume's all messed up, and it's like it's supposed to fix your costume, but it also reads your mind and it gives you whatever. And that's he came out and had the black costume. It was
Yeah,
on like the cover of one of the issues. Yeah, it, it's a cool nostalgic thing, but like dude, there's like a whole section of like Colossus and fucking Johnny Storm fighting over the love of this mute woman who makes them feel stuff, even though Colossus is like married to Kitty, and like it's so ridiculous, dude. And they fight over this. Oh god, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But it does bring out Molecule Man being like as powerful as he
yeah.
is, which is cool, because it's the Molecule Man. But anyway, let's talk about Spider-Man. Let's just stay on Spider-Man. I thought the stronger points of the movie was the stuff with him and the relationships with the characters that before I never gave a crap about, really. Like I never really
Yeah.
cared about his relationship with that MJ, if you could call it that. But I thought they did a great job. I thought she did a good job. I thought the scene when Jean had taken over her and she did the whole like, oh, you did we know each other? You've rescued me in Washington D.C. and France. You've done this. This is did we know each other? And then she pulls up his mask a little bit, kisses him, and then he's like, "Oh, I missed you so much. Oh my god." She's like, "You're a fucking idiot."
Oh yeah, dude. That was harsh. That was, dude. I mean, yeah. The emotional beats in the movie were very
Fantastic.
good. It's probably one of the strongest points of like I think like definitely the two strongest points are that I mean the emotional beats very strong. The characterization of everyone across the board. Like I don't know that there's anybody short of maybe the Hand, which one of the comments that somebody makes about the Hand, it's like, well, yeah, but the Hand has always been that. They're just throwaway bad guys
Yeah,
in
dude. Like,
costumes. They're just that's the
oh
Hand. They're just junk. Like that's all.
yeah.
What
Like
the
the
always,
leader in the Hand is the one that you're whoever's leading the Hand at the time. That's who
yeah.
you care about, not the Hand themselves. They were
No,
just
they're just
they were
ghost
NPC
ninjas.
throwaways. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So, they just made the Hand stupid. They were stupid.
yeah, they've always been stupid. But so the characterization across the board, everyone was good. Even Jean Grey, who I never think is characterized as interesting at all ever anywhere. So that was a good, interesting characterization. They gave her some background and some backstory that made everything about her more interesting. And
Dude,
so yeah, I mean,
not even good in the big old X-Men blue and gold omnibus. She sucks.
no, she's just boring. She's just a giant OP MacGuffin. Like, oh, well, we want something big to happen. Let's have the Phoenix show up.
I'm just gonna show off some comics I got while we're talking
Yeah,
from this past week. But yeah, man, like I thought they did a cool job, man. I thought the story was cool. I really liked the the stuff with like I've heard people say, oh, he was like a creepy stalker. And it's like, dude, he lost his aunt his whole life,
yeah,
Tony, and his
everybody.
friends and his whole support system. So he watches their videos like on Instagram to feel close to them. Like, I don't
Well,
see
dude,
anything.
this is
And
the thing people
especially,
missed about that.
but especially people saying that as if they're some upstanding, righteous people. Like, you don't know how you would react. That's never going to happen to you.
Yeah, exactly. And well, not even just that, but it's like not only did he like it wasn't just sitting there and watching some of their Instagram videos. It was literally watching them grow, mature, and like 4 fucking years is what the movie covered from like the beginning. That opening sequence is literally the entire college life of Ned and MJ. That's 4 years of college.
Yep.
Like, and those are probably those are the like but outside of like high school, kind of when you're young.
Formative years. Yeah.
Those are your most formative years. Like whoever you come out of college as is kind of who you're going to be most of the rest of your life. You're on a
Yep.
path. You're going that's the direction you're in. So, like, and he's just not there for any of it. And like,
Yep.
but he sees it. It's there. It's like they're there. So yeah, it's hard and it's sad, and that's what I mean. Again, that's what set up all of the other emotional beats in this movie. Is kind of
Yep.
reminding the audience that like he doesn't have like, he lost everything. And there are points in Spider-Man's life where you see that kind of scenario for him, that you see Peter Parker go through that. If you watch, or not watch, if you go back and read, I would recommend 90s era Spider-Man, you're going to see arcs like that. Go look at Spider-Man's life after, I mean, even though him and MJ
Go,
are together, after Norman Osborn steals his child back
go
at the
look
end of
at
Revelations and and the end of the
yeah.
Clone Wars. Like, go
Go
back
look
and
at
look at,
like DeMatteis' Spectacular Spider-Man. That deals a lot with like angst and like stuff that's just
yeah, he went
more.
through.
Yeah, good, good.
No, he there was a lot of stuff like that. So, and this movie plays like that. It plays from that era of that like late '90s post Clone War, or not Clone War, Clone Saga Spider-Man, and even like, or even some of the Clone Saga Spider-Man where he was. It wasn't really a coming of age. It was kind of a growing as an adult kind of era for Peter, and it hit these strong emotional beats, and they were setting up like showing you like this is what he lost. He lost even
Everything.
knowing who they are. Like they
Yep.
became these whole other people, and he's just, I mean, he's out here like kicking ass as Spider-Man, and he's earned the love of the city and everything else, but he's just a lonely dude with nobody.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot too much focus on like all of the crazy tech he had. Like, how did he come to afford this, that, and the other thing? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure he got left with a shit ton of Tony Stark tech in the first place at the end of all the other movies.
Plus,
Like, it's
like,
not surprising he has some of
just
this shit.
because it's like, oh, how did he get all this? It's like he's Spider-Man. Like he's also super smart and he makes things. Like it doesn't just because you have zero inkling on how to
Yeah,
make anything doesn't mean that he doesn't.
I
It
don't
just
need the setup of how Spider-Man bought all of his shit or
yeah.
custom made it.
This is how Spider-Man bought his 3D
Yeah,
printer.
I
Oh,
don't need that unless we're gonna do like if we were talking about like a 12 issue or 12 episode
yeah, show or
premium like
something.
television show, then yeah, maybe we want a little setup about his day to day life, sure. But we've got 2 hours here, guys. Some shit that could be left
Yeah.
on. There's some things we're gonna leave out of the script, and we're just going to realize it's a comic book movie. More
Yeah.
often than not in comic, like where did the Punisher get a grenade launcher? Let's talk about that. Well, he's the
Yeah.
Punisher.
What
Well, where
about
did
the
Spider-Man get all of this cool spider? Well, he's fucking Spider-Man.
yeah. I
That's just the price of entry into the Spider-Man comic. Okay.
Yeah, there's this suspension of disbelief somewhere. So I mean, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
if you're, again, if you're in a comic book movie, you have like it's sitting here like, oh, you don't want to shut your brain off and everything. It's like, no, you don't have to, but you do have to go into it knowing that this is a movie about Spider-Man. It's a comic book movie. Honestly, I think even most Batman films have missed the idea that this is a comic book movie about Batman. There's one of the like this felt like a Spider-Man movie about Spider-Man, about Peter Parker. It was like whoever wrote the script for this was a Spider-Man fan. They understood like the scene. I mean, you don't have like him in the Juggernaut, but you've got the same beats with him in the Hulk, and you've seen multiple times where Spider-Man and the Hulk get thrown down, and Spider-Man's again small little dude dealing with insurmountable odds. Like that interaction with him and Bruce and the Hulk and the way they use the Hulk
He's
in the
like the
movie,
Rocky. He's like the
such a
Rocky
great beat.
of the when it comes to like the bigger things. He's like the Rocky
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
superhero universe. Right.
Yeah, and that kind of leads to like my third. I think the third best thing about the movie, the action is fucking
Dude, the swinging
top
scenes were
tier.
incredible. The fight scenes were
The
amazing.
swinging, the fights, the CG for the Hulk was fantastic.
Great.
All
Yeah.
of the shit with like Frank and and the gunplay, the fights, the stuff with him and
And he
him
was
and the
like,
Punisher.
when Spider-Man is face to face with the Hulk, he's like, "Oh crap! I didn't know you got that big."
Yeah, dude,
I was like, finally, we got, he's mad again.
Yeah, yeah, you got
Wow.
like just raised. He's just pissed off because somebody fucked with his mind. So, but like, and then the stuff I think that was almost like the strongest, stronger than even the Ned and MJ stuff was the Frank and Spider, like the Punisher and Spider Man interaction was like so
Yeah, it was
fucking
good.
good. That
It
might
was
be
fun.
one like that might be the best iteration of the Punisher. Like it makes the whole all of that they did
You
with the
don't
Punisher and
like
the
the
Daredevil
Dolph
stuff look like shit.
Lundgren Punisher?
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like the way they used this version, the MCU Punisher, in like the Daredevil thing. It makes it look like crap beside this. Like, and this is just PG-13. Like this is PG-13 Punisher. This is like 1980s battle van Punisher. Like, but it's so like it's good, and the interaction, the characterization, the way they brought Punisher into the story, the way they used him in the story,
Yeah,
the kind of emotional beats for him that was so fucking good.
and I was gonna bring this up whenever we were talking about the fighting, but Gray made it. Yeah, Jackie Chan's stunt team did excellent job with all of the martial arts and the fighting and the choreography. It was incredible. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
you got the right dude. Just put it that way.
Oh yeah, the
We
fight scene in the fucking tight space with the hand was fantastic. Like
Oh, dude, when he was like, "Oh,
so
that's
good.
so cool," he was like, "Oh, that's so cool." When they were jumping off
Yeah,
each other's backs and doing that was awesome. But there's some really good, like we are talking about the emotional scenes. So like you find out that Spider-Man, Jean Grey can't get into his mind, so she's intrigued by him, and he's trying to stop her because they're making a statement on, I don't want to say corporations, but like trusting the wrong people blindly. You think that
yeah.
they're the good guys, but they're actually not the good
Not even
guys.
corporation, like government agencies and
Government
shit like that.
agencies.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah. So, Jean's sister was kidnapped, and we find out this thing called VMAX, and she used her telepathy to that's what she said to her. She got a message from her, so she's trying to find out what VMAX is. We find out later in the film what it is, but she ends up threatening Peter because she can't get into his mind, so she follows him, like, and finds out who he is, gets into his apartment, and there's a letter that Peter wrote to MJ years ago, if you remember the coffee
yeah,
house scene, that he was going to read to her or give to her, explaining everything, like, like, all this time I've been this, we were together. So while he's trying to help MJ, he like goes to her apartment, she's just like, what the fuck, Spider-Man's in my apartment, and he's like, I gotta, there's someone after you, I can't explain. And she does go with him. He takes her to where Frank Castle is staying, and anyway, she ends up staying there until she's safe. But when they finally get a facial recognition on Jean, Spider-Man leaves, but he leaves the note sitting out because there was a scene where they were interacting, which I thought was real good while he was trying to fix his
yeah,
inhibitor, blah, 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 all this stuff. And she ends up, when he comes back, she read the note. And I thought that was
yeah,
great because she was like, was any of this true? Like, when were you gonna tell me? And she's like, take that off. And he's like, that had been in the movie, like him protecting his identity was huge. It
yeah,
was in the mask so much that it actually made, when he did take it off, like, that's a
yeah,
pretty powerful thing. Yeah.
yeah. Something Disney should have learned about. Should have learned back when they were doing Mandalorian and Grogu. It's like, no, you leave the fucking helmet on. He's a,
Yeah, same thing with Halo. Not that that was a good show ever, but like
yeah.
literally in the second episode, not only do I see Master Chief's ass, I see his face. What are we
Oh
doing?
man, come on! You didn't love Master Cheeks?
Master Chaster Meef. No, I did not like him at all. Did not like Master Cheeks or Master Chief. None of them were good. So, like, they did a very good job, I think, in handling the way that, if this were to happen, how would you handle it? Because obviously
Yeah,
she's gonna there's so many different feelings. Like, why would he have written this about her, right? If it wasn't true. Like, and then she knows that it's Spider-Man who did that. So obviously they have everybody has a way they feel about Spider-Man. Obviously the city loves him. Why would
yeah,
Spider-Man take a fixation on her and lie about it, you know? So like the way it was handled, I thought was really good. I thought that was really cool because she's basically
Yeah.
like, look, whatever you did, it fucking worked because I don't know you and I don't love you. Like, I don't know what to tell
Because I don't,
you.
yeah, I
That
just don't know
sucks.
who you are.
That sucks. And she's like, it's completely unfair. Like, when were you ever going to tell me? And he doesn't say anything. And she's like, oh, great. Cool. So you made that decision for me. Awesome. Like, cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, way to
Yeah.
go.
And
Yeah. Because that's,
well, I was gonna say,
I know me and you have had that kind of same back and forth with the I've never been into like the whole you got to keep this secret from your loved ones and you have to do this to keep them safe. It's like, dude,
yeah,
they're not safe. They're just as safe as any other citizen.
yeah. Well, and I appreciate that he kind of explains that this is like, in all honesty, a shit decision he made in a moment of trauma and
when it happened,
yeah.
when it happened,
Yeah, when it happened and everything, and when he takes the mask off, what I found kind of interesting is she remembered all the way back 4 fucking years back to the donut shop.
That's how much of a connection they have.
Yeah, like it's something in all honesty that kind of transcends the spell, which
makes sense.
It makes sense, but that isn't the last you see of it in the movie. Like that's the other part about it. And that was like, you know, one of the things that you kind of see, you know, going on. Like it was one of my favorite parts of the movie, actually. Again, with these character moments, is like everything goes down. They go and like he has the battle with the Hulk, and Frank's there because like MJ sent him to, you know, go there and save him, and like
gonna need help. He's gonna need help, right?
Yeah, and then so after the scene, like you're talking about on Frank's like hideout, like she's like, oh hey, yeah, I don't have a phone. Can you just like take me home? So like takes her home, and I think that like
uncomfortable too. And then she realized
it was super awkward.
Like you got to take me home.
Well, even the swinging back was super awkward. Like
no talking.
She's like, and nothing said, and they let it go on just enough to make it you felt.
Yeah.
How awkward they both felt in that silence, and I was like that scene alone just made me like, who the fuck, like whoever wrote this moment, fuck, dude, you
nailed it.
I don't know who the screenwriter is. You nailed it. Whoever directed the cinematography in the moment, everything, like you guys, like they
nailed it, man.
Just that piece of the movie, so fucking perfect that like so few films can get a scene like that right and not drag it out, not have it become. And this is the thing, like with the feminism in movies and shit, and you have these awkward and the Gen Z awkwardness, like it's always taken too far. It's always like turned to 11. It becomes shrill and cringe and annoying. And it's like, no, they just had a moment of like a really awkward thing just happened, but like we're stuck in this moment with each other. And I think that like what I appreciate about it, you know, they land, and like MJ, I think even to herself, like starts to realize like this is like real and some shit happened, and like I don't
and
know.
He's lost everything, even though how bad I feel. What would it feel like if I lost my best friend, if I lost my girlfriend, if I lost this? Yeah.
And she like, I wouldn't even say that she takes pity on him. She has like this very human moment, and she's like, hey, do you just want to like come up and say hi to Ned? And it's like, I put like that was like that was such a you know, one of my favorite pieces of the whole movie. That whole scene from the conversation about the letter all the way through, like going up there. Ned's like, oh my god, somebody saw Spider-Man nearby, and he's coming around, and like there he is in the doorway, and Ned's just like, because Ned's just still this, the connection is still there. Like Ned is still this massive Spider-Man nerd fan, and then like so he just hangs out with them. And I'm like, fuck, like I felt that, like that was
her drawing him hanging out with Ned and without his mask on because she knew what he looked like.
Yeah,
pretty fucking cool, I thought.
No, it was great, dude. I loved it when they broke out the fucking Legos and they're going at it, and it's like getting to see that there really is a connection between the three of them that transcends the shit that went on.
When Ned found out that Peter was Spider-Man, they were doing Legos, the Death Star. Remember?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That it was
very well done. Very well.
No,
done.
Dude. Again, a great emotional beats. Such again, like I said, the emotional beats that they knew how to make them hit. Like they knew how to write them in a way that hit, that wasn't cringe, that wasn't annoying, that wasn't fucking shrill and asinine, like or overdone and ham-fisted, like so much shit Marvel does today. Like
Yep.
it was smooth and good, and it really felt like somebody really understood the emotion and the characters. It wasn't something that like with Marvel these days. It's all this fucking script by committee, and there's no emotion and no feeling to it. And that wasn't what you got here. But and again, that's why you're at a Spider. That's why if you're a Spider-Man fan, that's what kept you there.
Mm-hmm.
These emotional beats, these strong connections to characters that Spider-Man formed over his time, either as Peter Parker or as Spider-Man. It's what made Spider-Man such a great character. I mean, at this moment, the top superhero character period in all of anything. Like
Right now,
the
for
number
sure.
one IP.
Yeah.
Like there is, I mean, in just about everywhere, short of the comics,
Yeah.
because they canceled Ultimate.
They canceled. Well, yeah. Well, Hickman kind of canceled Ultimate. Like
Yeah.
we can get into that at some point. But one
Yeah.
cool thing is when I was at the comic book store the other day, I was getting
Buying
some.
a large, long box of Superman comics.
Yes, but yes, but it
Comixaholic,
also
Comicaholic.
I needed like 4 or 5 issues of to complete my Death and Return and Reign of the Superman, and they had them, right?
Mhm.
And this is what's funny. So I went to my storehouse because I wanted to get a few issues to compare, like, compare the quality, right?
Yeah.
And these are actually pretty good. They're not bad. Like they're actually in pretty good condition.
Oh, nice.
But then I looked at mine. So I don't even. So I have doubles of this. I don't even know if this has been opened since 1993.
Still got 1993 air in it.
Dude, like when you wait till you see how great a condition this foil cover is in. You know, foil covers like they rip everything.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on it depends on the weathering of them and everything. Oh, that's nice.
And
that's
the
really
color
good.
Pops. Look at that, man. Like it
Oh,
looks
wow,
so
yeah.
good. Yeah, on the newspaper print, like it still looks
Yep.
great. So I was like, all right, yeah, sweet. So now I finally have like everything that I need, and I could fill up those 2 long boxes. And he actually got me the 3 Man of Steel like comics that coincide with it because I have most of that, but he got me those. And I was just looking at some of these, man. Like it's hilarious, dude. Like some of these covers when Superman came back and he had the mullet. they're pretty
Mullet
funny.
Superman for the win. Oh yeah, dude, I picked up one with I can't remember what. Damn it, what was his name? I have to go find it. It was a foil embossed, not a chromium cover.
Mm-hmm.
But it was shortly after his that one was actually shortly after his powers renormalized, I think, from being electric. But he still had the mullet going on.
So check this one out. This is a cool one. This is right after the 8-part funeral for a friend. I can't believe how good a condition this is still in too. Like, so
oh wow, dude, I love those. Yeah, I found one of those.
So like right from the get, look how good that looks.
Oh yeah,
looks
I love, dude. I loved those cutout covers. I found a few of them free comic book day like 2 years ago. And in the cheap bins, it's like, hey, in the the 50 cent, 60 cent.
Speaking of the cheap bins.
Yeah, while we're on a comic book interlude, thank you for reminding me about that. So
yeah,
the Dollar Tree near me finally got one of the DC Comics. Yeah, that's a great cover from Vaughn's. V Ken Marion to do issue 4 of Phenomenova cover, and he did a foil variant. It's so pretty, and I love V Ken Marion's work all the time. But yeah, so Dollar Tree finally got a DC Comics, bin of the comic books you can get for $1.25. So I grabbed a few. I was like, oh, I love the Super Sun era of Superman. Very short era that Brian Michael Bendis completely fucked up. Just be completely honest.
There's some good stuff in it.
Yeah, well, I mean before Bendis.
Oh.
The time before Bendis is great. It was when Bendis came in that they shit the bed on it.
Yes.
Yeah. So Superman Imperious Rex, that seemed interesting. The Luther stuff I'm not familiar with. So few things in there. They're just a lot of like kind of different random issues in there. But I picked this up, and this is fantastic because this is in there. Batman Hush 2 is already a buck 25. Did they finish this yet? Is this done yet?
Well,
They did.
the first 6 are done.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so
The second 6
issue
are not
one for
done yet.
look at all the money that Jim Lee brought DC's way. They're throwing these in the trash. The
Dude,
$1.25 trash.
but they also I will give them credit on one thing. The reason why there's so many of those number ones is because literally day one they sold like $400,000 worth of pre-orders.
Oh
So they
yeah, because
probably
people are like,
made,
oh my god, Jim Lee and
but
Jeff Loeb are back on.
but the
Oh,
point but the point of the matter is this: the fact that they made more and they didn't all get caught up to where they're selling them at the Dollar Tree, like that's what tells you.
no,
What
I just that I mean, I
on
think
that
I've
one.
heard almost universally that this
Oh,
is
I
kind
didn't
of
like it.
ass,
I
and it's
didn't like
like, oh, dude, Jeff. I can understand Jim Lee's legacy to me is already like
it. Mhm.
very tarnished. Though I will say, here, hold on a second. I will be right back with something. I discovered something yesterday.
Mhm.
Well, actually, I'm not that gone, but I'm going in a room here. Move it, dogs. I did not realize that Jim Lee did these, and I'm excited to read these next 2 issues. But because this is probably the first time I think he drew this character, and I didn't realize it was him at all. So I bought these back during the Phoenix fan fusion that I had. Punisher War Journal 1.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this Jim Lee, I didn't realize this was Jim Lee. And I get into it, I'm looking at it, and then I go back and I look at the front cover, and I'm like, it is excuse me, very early Jim Lee. And then I realized why issue 6 is considerably more expensive than issue 1, and that was because this is where you have, I think, the first time the Punisher and Wolverine meet, also drawn by Jim Lee. I can't wait to read this. I'm expecting some good stuff. I always love Jim Lee's freaking Wolverine. Like these covers are great too. Like I mean, these things, selling this far later from 1985 for $20,
That's fantastic.
and
Yeah,
this one, dude, I'm like, dude, these are Punishers like trying to go on a trip to Mandapore or something. I'm like, dude, so good. But yeah, early Jim Lee stuff like that, and they're I dropped like $32 on the both of those issues, and only $8 on issue 1. But they're all in really like whoever fucking had them kept them in very good condition. I'm like, I want to read them once because I have digital of them now, and I'm like, I would almost slab those. They are so pretty. They're in such good condition.
I
But
got the first 5 facsimiles of the Silver Surfer run, and it's crazy
oh
how much
wow,
bigger the books were. These are like 80 pages a piece, and I got this. This is actually a pretty cool cover. I got the foil variant for number 4 with him and Thor on it. Like I thought that was a really cool.
oh that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool cover. And but I got the first 5 of them, and so far, like I went through them, I read them. They are what they are back then. The
Yeah.
writing, but I was happy with it, man. And I also picked up the new Claremont Gambit. So
Oh, dude, I
he
meant to
wrote
get that. I'm gonna go to the shop tomorrow. I hope that there's still one there.
he wrote another Gambit series before this, where Storm was like a young kid and he rescued her and
Yeah.
all that stuff. They're tying back into that story from way back when, and I liked it. I liked it because it was more of a character thing. They did do fights and stuff like that, but it was more character centric, and it was fun. It was like them two on a road trip, and it was kind of cool. And I picked up this John Romita Jr. Visionaries book. It's just like a bunch of stories,
Oh, nice.
just a bunch of stories, and obviously it's got that badass cover that
Oh, yeah, I love, dude. Not even just the cover, the like, and that was what I was like. That people like don't realize. Like, there's some really great art in the
Mhm.
Punisher. If you go back, like Warzone was great. You've got early Jim Lee back in War Journal early on, like that was really
Mhm.
great. It's like, dude, there's some such great art in there. But yeah,
And I grabbed
Romita
Starlink
Junior's.
Death of the New Gods because I like the story that they ruined in Final Crisis. But I mean, whatever. It's a self-contained story. And I like what Starlin did. Starlin's art, I just like Jim Starlin. So like,
But
you
yeah,
know,
dude, his work on Silver Surfer was so fucking gorgeous, frankly. But
so
yeah,
there's here, here's something for you. This is how stupid I am. You got all that Hush too. I got all the Hush twos.
oh god,
Variant covers. You want to see the
ooh,
worst? You want to see the worst variant cover? Not only
oh
just
god.
because it's
There's been some
Hush
bad
2.
Batman art in like
It's not that it's
very
not the
recent
art that's
memory.
bad, but he's literally dunking a basketball on the Joker for Hush. Like, it's sad now because the art for Batman right now is so good because it's Jorge Jimenez and
Yeah.
it's fucking Matt Fraction. And I'm just like, get the fuck,
Oh
like,
yeah.
no.
Oh, reminded me of something else. Do I have it out here? I do have it out here. So while we're on kind of a show and tell, a couple of things I picked up recently on used, mind you, but in really fucking good condition. So this is, and I don't have enough of them laying around, but I've always been fun of the Candor bottle stories.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did. What I thought this was actually, and honestly, I mistook the artist in this book for being him. But
Mhm.
this was actually he was writing it, and this guy Talent Caldwell did the art. But the heir apparent, I would say, to Michael Turner, because he nails the Turner vibe. Like here, like let me find this. So let me find a good page here of this. Like look at this woman here. That is not Michael Turner. I looked at it. I'm like, that's Michael Turner. But yeah, Godfall. I've yet to read it. I've read some good things about it. It's an interesting story. Joe Kelly and Michael Turner.
We
Um,
wait a minute. We talked about Gene already. We talked about it.
yeah.
That was like one of the first things we talked about. Like I thought they did a good job with Gene. Like what do you want me to say? Like I don't know what else to say about it. I thought they did a good job with
I
her.
mean,
She's usually a very boring character. Always has been.
yeah.
Always will be. Yeah, I
I
did.
I I
I said
get.
that I said that she was her sister was captured by the people, and that's where they got what's his name, Metzger. She
Yeah.
was looking for the VMAX thing. I just didn't get to the end of it. I just didn't get to the
Yeah.
end of it. I
But
did talk
I
about it
mean,
though.
yeah. We haven't
I don't
gone.
think it was like this amazing thing that you probably do. I think Jean Grey is fucking boring as shit. And like
Yeah.
it's
Usually she is in this movie. She actually like this is the thing. Jean Grey never has motivation. She never has drive. She's never anything but like a MacGuffin. In this, she had motivation and she had drive for the action she was taking. It made her into kind of a crazy sociopath. But in all honesty, I think telepaths at that level are maybe misrepresented as being emotionally stable. I don't see how you fucking could be. Like,
yeah, I mean,
ow.
I guess so. Like, I mean, do you want me to praise something that I don't think needs praised? I don't care about Jean Grey. Like, I don't give a fuck
Well, and that's the
about her
thing. Like,
whatsoever.
I don't know
I
that
mean, I'm
it's
sorry.
Marvel's. I don't know if it's
I don't,
Marvel putting its taint on it simply because, like, they don't even talk about the X-Men. They don't even call her a mutant. It's like we all know that because we read comics. But if
mhm.
you're like I guarantee you, my kids who went with me to see that, they don't fucking know who the fuck Jean Grey is.
Right, and I thought they did it. I thought they did a good job with her. It was the most interesting, most interested I was in her. So
Yeah,
anyway, yeah. So she gets the VMAX, the telepathy message from her sister, and then she's basically on a tear to get her sister back to try
yeah,
to find her sister. And VMAX is something that she thinks has a lot to do with it. So she's doing all this body hopping that she can, and they set up the rules for it in the scene with her sister where it's like 33 feet is the limit that they can hop, but once they hop they can go wherever with that body.
yeah,
And she turns into a raging psychopath that I thought was like understandable if they would have gotten into a little bit of her backstory, because she came from a lot of like
yeah.
really bad stuff. Like her parents in some iterations are really nice and cool, in some iterations, not. But they could have changed the backstory and had her been like come from, they talked about her mom giving them up for like a second, like that's not enough for me to be
Yeah.
like, we all get why she was doing it, right? But if she's not held accountable at the end of it, it's really like, okay, well, she got a pass, I guess, from killing some of those people, like the old man she threw in front of the car. That dude's dead. Like that dude's dead.
Yeah.
There's no way that guy's alive. Like it's just not
Yeah.
feasible. And I thought they did a great job, in my opinion, with her, because I that's the most interested I've been in her in
Yeah.
any iteration of Jean Grey. And I've read a lot of X-Men,
And that's the thing. Like, find a time when she's had her own motivations, her own things that drove
right,
a story
exactly.
about her along for anything. Like
No,
even Dark Phoenix, which is a great story, very interesting. She's used as a means to an end. It's like basically
right.
some illusionist's.
Oh, it's definitely the worst part of the flick. That's what I've said that at the
Yeah,
beginning. I
it
said
was.
that's
It
the
was.
big elephant in the room of this movie.
Yeah.
I
Well,
even
yeah.
said it felt like there was two movies in there that they were trying to tell. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
I said that, but
Yeah. Well, I think that is kind of what is missing. What is really missing from the film is a really strong antagonist, like a really strong
yeah,
bad guy. Now you kind of get a bad vibe from Metzger, but you don't really see it. And
you don't
I
really
do
know.
agree. I think they missed using a Trask or somebody like that to really have a better antagonist. Or fuck, even if you wanna like fucking skip all of that and you just want to be like, it turns out the guy in charge of damage control is fucking Bastion. That would have been fucking wild. That would have been
That
like,
would be great.
nobody
That
else
would
would
be
have got that, but I would have been like, holy shit,
yeah, because
they did that.
then at least we could be like, oh, that's why she's doing what she's doing. Okay, got
Yeah.
that. That could have been cool. Like, I mean, yeah,
Oh.
it felt to me that there was two movies in there. That doesn't, for me, that doesn't take away the Spider-Man portion of the movie. I wish there was, I wish there was a strong villain arc, but I liked the character study in the movie. I thought the movie was fine. And yeah, it felt like they're tacking stuff on. I don't know if it needs to be tacked on to Battle World and the Mutant Saga. I mean, obviously they're going to have to introduce mutants at some point. I mean, we
Well, they're
got
doing it. I
Kelsey
mean, they're doing
Grammer,
it. Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I mean,
Well, yeah, I
and
mean, they're
Gray, if
doing
I'm
it as
not
Doomsday.
mistaken,
So
you called it one of the best musicals of the year. The Miss Marvel or whatever. The Marvels. So I mean, you had to like that Kelsey Grammer scene. Did they tack that on? I don't know. Probably.
yeah,
But I mean, there's problems with the movie, just like there is any
yeah,
movie. But like me personally, like I say for every movie that I watch, I give zero fucks. I don't care about movies. I just don't.
yeah.
Like when it comes down to it, me personally. He
Well,
knows.
and that's kind of the case too. It's like I said, this plays like a Spider-Man comic. Like you're watching somebody who whoever wrote this script could take that and turn that into a graphic novel of Spider-Man, and it would be a great read. I would be entertained by it. You could slap that in as a
Yep.
Spider-Man story. You could put it in between a hardcover, and oh yeah, this is good. You could make that. I don't know. That's probably maybe a 4 issue, 5 issue arc. Like there's enough for a trade there probably, and probably a little more expansion than what we had. A little bits here and there, but and it would all the beats, all the story beats would stay the same. All of the things that like make it about Spider-Man, and that's the thing. Like excuse me, it didn't feel like a Jean Grey movie. Didn't feel like an X-Men thing. Like you like I said, you come in there like my kids. They don't know who Jean Grey is. It's just a thing. But they were, missing a strong antagonist. Like you had an antagonist, you had somebody
100%.
antagonizing your hero. And I do not like the lip service to Tombstone. I do not like just the little bit of Scorpion we got. Like I wanted more.
Because that wasn't Scorpion. It was freaking Jean fighting his Scorpion. So it was like,
Yeah,
all right,
exactly. Well, I mean, you had Scorpion like at the beginning of the movie,
right?
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like okay, like I wanted more of a throw, and as great as all the action was in the movie, you just didn't get enough
Right. There's not
superhero. There was a
enough
lot of
of
supervillain battle.
there's not
Like,
enough
that's what I'm missing.
there's not enough of an antagonist to make up what they tried to make you feel it was. When here's the thing though, if it was revealed to be someone else, right? And not Jean Grey, would people still feel the same way? Probably not.
Yep.
They'd probably be
Or
like,
you
don't tell me, dude, until like you knew who it was. Like that was I thought it was great. Like in my opinion, if it was a different person and it wasn't Jean Grey, now would they have had to have them come to have consequences? The only reason why they didn't is because it's Jean Grey.
yeah.
Like so, I mean,
I was even just thinking
I don't
now,
know. I
actually,
don't. I
and
don't. I don't look into things like me personally. I don't look into movies and be like, oh yes, they were grabbing from this other movie. I don't care. Like I mean, for anybody who knows me knows that like I don't look that deep into that stuff. You want to talk about Batman's cape from 1979? I'll fucking talk to you about that. Movies, I'm trying harder to get into movies because most of the things we do on Last Panel is movies and stuff like that. So like my picks and my stuff is always the worst because it's like if it's not a video game or if it's not a comic book, I'm just not. I don't look at the art of making a movie like other people do. I give zero shits. I try so hard to care. Like, oh, look at that. I wonder what camera angle he was using right there. Did you see how he followed the line of his asshole? Like, amazing, amazing tracking scene. Like, I don't think like that. I wish that
yeah,
I did so I could have better conversations with people. I'm just giving my opinion on the comic book movie that was in front of me. And that's how I felt about it. Like, I I I think the gene scenes were an issue because I didn't really think that that should have been Jean Grey. I didn't think that that was a good
yeah.
um yes, I recognize the covers. Yes. The Amazing Fantasy covers. They had a whole bunch of scenes where they
Oh yeah, they
shot.
did a lot of colors. Those were great. The
Yes.
cover scenes that they did were really good. But
Yes.
yeah, I think
And
there's other villains that could have been used in a very similar fashion. And I was just thinking actually to my right here to myself. I was like, I think even Trask might have been the wrong pick for this. It would have been too much of Marvel putting a taint on it. I
mhm,
think would have been really interesting and set up what I think that we have to see this in the next film. There's no way around it anymore. They've held it off for too long. I think it
mhm.
would have been very interesting to see that Norman Osborn was actually behind damage control. I think that hits hard.
Or yeah, and it turn maybe could possibly turn in Dark Reign because the mutants become a problem. And then he
Mhm.
gets because you get
Yeah,
that, dude, you'll get some iconic stuff that does happen. Some Dark Reign shit
yeah.
is there's some fucked up shit in Dark Reign,
Oh,
dude.
that it definitely is. But I mean, even just that, like in the next
Just him
film,
being behind it, right? Like you got to get into Norman Osborn, like this version of Norman Osborn.
yeah. I mean, you're at this point now where you've got to you actually have to bring him in and use him. You've got to do something with him because you know, God, I know that they can't give us. Well, they gave us Willem Dafoe's Goblin, I guess, kind of, but like there has to be a Norman Osborn in this world. There, I mean, so I don't know how they do the next movie. I don't know where they go for a villain, and we'll get into the next movie later. But God, you gotta do something with Norman Osborn, and that would have been again not a strong antagonist, but getting to see like this is the guy behind it. I think would have made up for quite a bit. Would have made it perfect. Would have made it great, but would have been like, oh, there's like there is a real villain behind this. Just getting government agent douchebag as kind of the main fall guy at the end of the day is a little. I felt that was a little anticlimactic. It's like, could
Yes.
we like there needed to be somebody with some real meat behind them
No, right. Of
behind
course.
this shit, and there just wasn't. So yes, that would have made Gene's motivation more worthwhile. Trask would have made it make sense to have Gene in it, but I think in a Spider-Man movie altogether, it makes more sense that it's Norman Osborn. Maybe later you reveal Osborn, Trask is using Oztech, whatever, Osborn Tech or Oscorp Tech to do shit, but down the road. But yeah, I think like for a Spider-Man movie, having it have turned out to be Osborn really behind this shit, Osborn funding, damage control or whatever, that would have
Yeah,
hit, and that would have perfectly set up the next movie. You've got Green Goblin like coming in. Oh fuck yeah,
Gray.
that's
I sent you
yeah
an invite if you really want to talk about it. So there you
yes,
go.
jump in, Gray. But yeah,
So
so
you can tell us how wrong we are about the subjectiveness of a movie.
yes, the subjectiveness of Jean Grey, who,
Yeah.
yes, I will admit, by
I
all
just think it's
means,
hilarious that it is because I said it would be the elephant in the room, but isn't it hilarious that the Jean stuff that supposedly took away from the movie, this is the best Jean Grey we've ever seen?
yeah, definitely the most like the most character development I'm familiar with Jean Grey that stands out as anything. Like nothing's ever really stood out. Like, oh yes, I know. Again, she for the most part, I remember her parents being decent. Like they
Yeah,
knew Xavier and whatever.
yeah,
Like
they used to go to the
that's your
school.
canon X-Men history.
Yeah,
So
they drove her there
yeah, and
because
it's like
all the thirsty dudes saw her get out of the car and they were like, "Oh, bye, oh, yeah."
it just I don't know. It's never made sense to me that like all of the telepaths like later on in the X Men, most of them are like fucked up weirdos, and you're
Yeah,
gonna be kind of weird if you can not control hearing people's thoughts for probably a good chunk of your
life, yes,
post
especially
pubescent years. Like
and we're talking about a teenage one. Why are we holding her accountable for like, yeah, she should be, right? But I understand why she did what she did. Her whole life, she was
yeah,
thrown away because she was different. The only person that she could even relate to was her sister, and she finds out like, oh, she's been captured right in front of her. I have to
yeah,
spend trying to get her back, and then whenever. So anyway, what I was getting to is she finds out, she gets into the damage control place, and then they capture her, and Spider-Man puts an inhibitor thing on her, and her powers are done. So when she gets in there, she's like, they're doing the mind probing, making her jump into things. They're trying to replicate it, and it does look like a Cerebro light type of
yeah,
scenario. Like it's pretty interesting. But when she's like, her mind's going all nuts, and at one point, and it's taking a strain out of her. At one point, she's like, does this and looks up, and she sees the vent on it. It was a sticker that said Vent Max, but it was like peeled off to the point where when the wind would blow, it just said V Max. So she put it together. That wasn't her sister basically sending out. It was the last thing that she ever saw. It was the last
yeah,
thing that she could get out to, like, get out at all, period, before she died. And that's when Jean's power, and that's what happens. There's times where
yeah,
under great stress, that stuff happened. We haven't even talked about Spider-Man's mutation yet, which we'll talk
yeah.
about for a little bit. But
Well, and
like,
that was kind of the thing you saw there too. Is like it was weirdly reminiscent of Deadpool, where they put him under the stress and his power kicked in. Like Jean already had her Jean had her telepathy, and after all this basically torture they're putting her through, her telekinesis kicks in.
mhm,
Like everything gets fucked.
yeah. And I mean, there's issues in my opinion with it, but like, I just didn't care. I just didn't care about him. I didn't give a fuck personally. I wish there was a main villain. I really do, like, because I think
I
that
wish there was more Tombstone, man. That was disappointing. I
I
wanted to
would
see a nice
that would have
showdown.
been so that would have been cool because whenever they showed on the little Spider-Man tracker and how they were saying like crime is down, and there was that one little bit, that it was up in, and it would have been nice if that ended up being like a villain or something that he needed to take care of. But they chose to go the way that they went. I didn't think that it interfered with the Spider-Man portions of the movie, and I was fine with it. I wish it was something different. To be honest, I really do.
Yeah,
I just don't care about Jean Grey personally. I just don't.
yeah.
I got just sitting here, I got like 30 years of crap that I could give a fuck less if they took her out, except for one story. And I have another, like, I don't know how many years in my storage facility. Every time I open it, it goes, "Don't read me. You don't like me." And I'm like, "You're right. I don't. You bitch. Get back in there." So what's up,
Exactly.
Ray? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man. Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm sorry, I must have miscommunicated it in there. I was just saying everything that I hear you guys praising isn't the Jean Grey parts. Like, I wish we had an actual Spider-Man flick that was just that instead of kind of. It feels to me like this is the stuff that the MCU is kind of forcing on it to go with the mutant saga, which is happening right after Secret Wars. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
know.
don't
Well,
think. Do you care? Did you? I thought there was enough.
I didn't think it got. Yeah, I didn't think. I mean, her as the antagonist. Like, yes, it would have been better. Like I said, if we had a villain, or we just found out that Norman Osborn was behind Damage Control, something. But I don't think it takes away because she wasn't really. I mean, she was a plot device that put Peter and MJ back together in a scenario where where everything came out, like where Peter had to be honest with her, say what kind of went down 4 years prior, and it used it as a setup there in that next act for them to kind of. This is so. I will say one of the things that I liked. My favorite part about what the movie did is like one of the things I hated most about No Way Home was that they basically did what Straczynski did in in One More Day, and they kind of fucked Peter. I mean, 20 years later. But what I appreciate that the screenwriter did here, or whoever wrote the script, clearly doesn't like what Marvel editorial is continue to keep at the background of everything they write about Spider-Man. They undid what they did in that last movie as I think cleanly as you could without alternate universing or putting a spell on. Like you could tell that like there's still this bond, something that transcended that, and they brought them back together. Now, what that turns into in later films, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe
They're due,
Marvel
bro.
tells them they could never be together in films either. Rawr. I think
Dude,
Tom
they
says,
hate-
"Go fuck
they
yourself."
hate-
She's my wife, but
Yeah, they hate those two together. And
They do.
it was such a like fuck you when Hickman was like, yeah, I don't care what you think. They're together and they have children. They're like, no, God. And then like the first issue sells like $700,000, and they're like, what? What is this? Why is this happening?
why? Why do people like this so much?
And they do, and we just don't want
And-
them to.
Well, and now they've not really. I mean, kind of retconned, but basically remended the bridge of what happened in No Way Home. The ending, which when we get to the ending, we'll get to it. Like I was like, there's something even more to it than just what we saw. Like there's this idea that there's still something there.
Yeah.
They haven't even gotten to, and I was like watching like him sit down with Ned, build Legos. MJ's on the couch. They're having this back and forth. I was like, this is endearing. This is sweet. This is this is saying, okay, we did that in that movie, but now we're going to like come back to something that actually I think people really liked about Homecoming, and liked one of the threads was liking Peter's support group, the people that he had, his friends and everything else. Like people enjoyed them, for better or worse of them.
Back to like his college years in comics, his high school years. Like he had
Yeah.
his group of friends, he had his people. He was an outcast, but that's what made the people that he liked. To take that away from him, it's like I've done the Spider-Man in the shits for years.
So very long. It's exhausting.
It is.
Well, I mean,
it's like
it's where
so
people love him the
fucking
most,
tough.
though.
No, it's not. No,
I would argue like that's what
the best-selling
I don't know.
comics
That's some
are
of his
with
best
him.
runs.
The best-selling Spider-Man
Mephisto
comics
one?
are the best-selling. That was terrible. That was horrible, dude. One More Day might be one of the worst things that ever happened in people hated it. They hated it.
It's still it is almost universally hated. I don't know that anybody that gives a shit about. There are people, some people who will remain nameless and still read it to this day.
Hey, shut up.
But nobody liked what happened there at all.
Hey,
So oddly, if I could jump in for just one
Good.
second. So you were praising like the writing in this one versus the last one. It's actually the same two dudes who have written all of the Home trilogy and then this one as well.
I don't think the last one's writing was bad. I think that
I don't think it was bad.
No,
No, I
but it's the same guys. The
Yeah.
main difference is the director, Destin
Yeah,
Daniel
but
Cretton. He's the same dude who did Shang-Chi, and then he did the Wonder Man series, which I think that one's
was
super
awful.
underrated. Like they made
No,
me
that was
actually
awful,
like care
dude.
about Wonder Man. Dude, it
No,
was
that
pretty
was
awesome.
awful.
I'm
No,
into
it
Wonder
wasn't.
Man.
No,
It
no.
was
I
great.
haven't watched the
I'm
Wonder Man
putting
stuff.
my foot down. It was like, here's Hollywood. Here's a story
Dude.
about Hollywood. Oh, but by the way, it's not a superhero story. It's not a huge superhero story. Oh,
It's-
last episode. It's a superhero origin story, everybody. Zazu. Fuck you. Go away. Shut up.
It was pretty awesome, man. And the technique that he was able to bring in there. I'm just saying, he showed it off in this one too. It's why this one looked different than the standard MCU one. It's not just
Yeah.
CGI suits and CGI backgrounds, and then CGI
Oh, dude,
characters doing
the
cartoon
costume
things.
was so good. The
I
costume was
like
so
this. I
good.
like
They
this
nailed
one
that.
better than any of the other ones.
No, they nailed
Yeah.
this costume to the floor. Like it's
Well, I'm just saying the movie
dead on.
itself. Like that's the thing. Like I would have never known who wrote it or who did it because I don't care. I just don't care
Yeah.
who writes and directs movies. Me personally, I
think I heard that it was the Shang-Chi director, which is weird, but maybe different forces at play for this than Shang-Chi.
Think about that bus scene. Like that scene is awesome. It is one of the better like fight scenes in a Marvel one. That's kind of what he brought to this. Like I don't know. I hate the ending of Shang-Chi so much, but there's a lot of good in that movie.
wait. You don't like fucking
Anything other than
Awkwafina?
Awkwafina.
Like being able to like shoot mystical dragons out of the sky with her vagina bolt?
Magically? No, she's great as an archer. Who knew? Yeah, dude, I hate that. I hate the dragons.
I just didn't like the movie. I didn't like what they did with the 10 rings. I thought that was. I thought that
the bus scene, though, man.
But I thought no, the bus scene's great. That's a freaking awesome.
No, it's a good fight scene. Yeah,
like just because you have a great part in a movie doesn't mean like even then I apply the same things to everything I watch. Just because there's a good scene here doesn't mean that the rest of the movie wasn't crap. And just because there's a crappy scene in this movie doesn't mean that the rest of it isn't good. It's all subjective, like when it comes down to it. And you are very entitled to have the opinion that you have. You know what I mean? Like 100%. There's no
No,
I don't think there's
we're
a
all in the
writer.
subjective camp here.
I don't think there's a right or wrong, unless you're looking at numbers like for a specific run. But like I'm just saying, like when Spider-Man was selling the most was when he was with Mary Jane or when he was with Gwen Stacy. Like a lot of people didn't it would take a hit here and there. Like right now, like the fact that it's getting trounced by like the absolute universe, which people complain about. And I'm like, I understand the complaints that I wish the main universe could be that cool, right? But the fact that it's not, you have something else to read that's good. Go read it. Like, why do you get? You're like, oh, it's Batman, but he's just all angry and it's not the mainline Batman. He comes from a universe made by Darkseid. He's
fair enough.
Darkseid rage.
So with the Spider-Man thing, I wasn't trying to say that like the best selling are when Spider-Man goes through tragedy, but it seems like the most memorable story beats that like when I ask somebody like what's Spider-Man's story, they hit a lot of the tragedy. Like that's kind of what he's known for. People don't want to see him necessarily.
But was it during the time where he was with someone though? That's the thing.
Yeah, like I don't even know if it's
fair enough.
Hold on, just because they're not. What I'm saying is just because they like say they don't have issues like where they're literally holding hands and walking through. That's not what we're saying. Like it's whenever he has that background, that backbone of support, right? Because everything that happens with Spider-Man is tragedy. That's what he's based. It's based in a tragedy. You know, I mean, literally his first thing is tragedy. So when you see a character get beat down for so long, right? And like Warren has mentioned this many times, when you have 60 to 70 plus years, issue 1000 comes out next Wednesday. You know, like when you have, what else are you supposed to do with them except for what works? You know, that's why people say it's fine if you have another Batman, right? But mainline Batman is Bruce Wayne. They try to do it. They tried to do Jace Fox. It just, you could have the best writer in the world. It doesn't matter, right? That's why they had to call the Dr. Octopus Spider-Man run Superior Spider-Man, because people were like, oh, I do like this. But
fair enough.
Like they want those particular things. So what my point when it comes to the movie part of it, if Peter Parker and Spider-Man are strong in the movie, right? Where I agree, there needed to be a better villain. There needed to be a better villain. Like if this happened and it wasn't Jean Grey, I don't think people might have the visceral reaction. The ones that don't like it, right? That don't like that part of it being, I don't think people would have as big a problem with it, right? I think there's something that solves the Jean Grey issue. Okay, she needed to be seen to pay for her actions. Now, whether she gets rescued by, something that happens with the mutants along later, right? That could be awesome. But she needed to pay for what she did because she clearly killed people. Clearly.
Yeah.
Like there's dead
Well, and that was the same thing we never got out of the other side of WandaVision either. It was one of the more frustrating parts about
She
it.
had like months of it. This was like
wait, here's the thing though, dude.
hours.
She'll they'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
They'll never get a Monica Rambeau to wrap it up for all of us.
They'll never know what you gave up. Your fake fucking children.
Your pretend kids. You will also never know how you managed to keep an entire town from being able to take a shit for a few months.
My son's been locked in his room. It smells like shit up there. Oh, he's been taking dumps for everybody here.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is that why the surplus of toilet paper has gone down here? Yes. I don't like poop. I don't like it. I'm Wanda Maximoff, everybody. Like, I am a MacGuffin McFucking fix-a-lot in everything that I do.
Oh god. Well, yeah, that is probably, to me, that is the single most unrewatchable Marvel thing. I mean, I never watched what was the
Agatha. It's so good.
Yeah, the Agatha
and
one.
It recontextualizes Wanda. You got to do a rewatch after watching it. Oh, it's so good, man. Just wait until we get, I'm just saying, Mayo Vision. It's coming real soon. We're gonna finally get the conclusion of this trilogy.
I don't care.
God, so
White Vision sucked.
Oh God, yes.
I'm just not into that.
Because you haven't got the conclusion to his arc, man.
Yeah.
Mayo Vision Quest is coming out real soon.
Dude, I cannot wait to not watch that one. The only reason why I even watched Agatha is because my wife watched it. It was like, she's like, witches, cool. And I'm like,
yeah, I keep asking
cool,
myself if I'm gonna I do want to watch X-Men 97, the second season, but I'm like,
it's okay.
I might just sail the 7 seas for that one.
It's okay. It's not anything horrible.
It would be worth a watch that way.
It's not like bad to the point of like being bad. It's not. It's actually okay.
I do fear they've already approved a 3rd season, but it is not. This season was at least the same creative that did the last one. Now they have a new team doing another one, and I don't.
It's just hard to trust them. It's hard to trust.
It's impossible to fucking trust them anymore.
It's hard. But anyway, go ahead, Greg. Give us your thoughts on some of the stuff there. Sorry to interrupt. Keep interrupting you, but go ahead.
Nothing. I was just saying, X-Men 97, Bo DeMayo, justice for Bo. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything like that. I just think it could have been a great film if I think the Jean stuff wasn't necessarily Jean. Like, to me, that just feels tacked on. Like, extend out those other parts that
what do you mean that it wasn't Jean?
It doesn't feel like that's actually Jean Grey.
Jean Grey has done some horrible things, bro.
Oh yeah, she has.
Not even as Phoenix, as Jean Grey.
It took a while for her to get those powers, though. Like, she didn't have that prior to meeting. She was never a villain from the get-go.
We're looking at a teen.
It doesn't feel like Jean.
We've never seen that young of a Jean, though. Like, we saw it, 16. She had psychic powers then. Her first Danger Room was literally her moving stuff
couldn't take
all
over.
Around. No.
She didn't have the abilities that she had at the end of this.
Listen, what happens to most mutants whenever they are put in a situation where they have either something very traumatic happen to them or something very, very catastrophic happen to them? Their powers multiply tenfold. That's been established. That's happened multiple times in comic books.
Yeah,
multiple times.
She's had multiple backstories, including Sarah. Like, Sarah isn't a made-up character or anything like that.
No, Sarah's a character.
They changed it around. I don't know. To me, this is the most interesting version, and I would say the best on-screen one. But if I'm praising, like, okay, this feels the most like Spider-Man, this feels the least like Jean Grey to me. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, that's
Well,
understandable.
I mean, I think that's fair too because it wasn't like it made her interesting and everything else. But yeah, you don't get. It isn't her story, and like I think to Lap's point, like it is very weird that that she's in it. There's a better villain to have been used for it. And why they paired this together is probably a Marvel thing, but it could have been shittier because at the end of the day, I don't feel like more often than not it was her as a plot device to move some other character development along in the story until basically the end, where they didn't do enough with the Metzger guy, I think, to make him more villainous. Like you just got a vibe about him, but
unless he's someone else, like literally, you really can't do much with him. He just led the anti-mutant.
Yeah.
You know, like he was just one of those dudes that was like, goddamn muties and their powers and you know.
I gotta figure out how to give them to capture them and give them to somebody else, which is not it. Like that is a story thread from an X-Men comic with a real villain behind it.
Yes,
and
there's tons of that.
Yeah,
I just felt like there was two separate movies in here. That's what it felt like to me, and I thought that this was Tom Holland's best performance as Spider-Man. I just don't like any of the other Spider-Man movies. I just think they're like really bad. Like, dude, that second one with Mysterio is so bad.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
like
definitely not the strongest.
What was the last one? No Way Home?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. That's a fun first watch, but it doesn't.
Oh, dude! Look at my review. As soon as I got out of the theater with my buddy John, we're literally sitting in a car, and I said, "Man, that was really fun to watch." But literally coming from the door to this car, the more I think about it, yikes! I don't want to think about it.
Well, and that was the thing about that. The thing about that movie was that you got all your key jangling and your member berries, and they did a decent job. But like they gave us one of the things I liked about No Way Home is that they gave us better versions of Jamie Foxx's Electro than we got in the actual movie.
Yes,
by far.
Yes,
you got Doc Ock being very good. Doc Ock. You got Defoe's Green Goblin again. Like fuck, I would just watch a Green Goblin movie with Defoe.
They just need to do a Green Goblin on like the 1990s. What's his name? Geraldo. Just him sitting in a chair, going through all the like, you know, you did this and this and this, and then him being like, and then finally just killing the whole audience.
Exactly, dude. I loved Defoe's Goblin. He was such a great fucking cast for it. So seeing him back in that was fun. It was good. But the real thing that really I think drove that movie and leaves it as such a warm spot in so many people's mind is because it was it was basically the first thing to do when COVID started, the COVID bullshit started to go by the wayside and people went out into the world again. And what was there? There's a cool Spider-Man movie. Let's fucking go. And it was like, oh my, everybody loved it because of that very unique situation. That was what there was.
$2 billion loved.
Dude, $2 billion. And see, this is what I think is what sets this movie apart from that is the fact that it doesn't rely on member berries. There is no COVID keeping people out of the movies. It's got great character beats, and people are showing up for it. And everybody clapped at the end of the movie, which I don't hear very much these days. Like, everyone was really excited. Even like people were so engaged in the movie in the theater, even small children were sitting still and watching, which even my kids who aren't as small anymore barely sit still in a fucking 2-hour movie. So I was impressed to see that. And yeah, it's going to have like almost $1 billion in its opening weekend. The legs on this are going to be wild. Like
I think it's tracking to be like 900 and something million by the end of the night, or by the end. Well, it would have been
by the end of the weekend. Yeah. Dude, I
don't know if
tempted to go see it again.
I don't know what that even means, but like
they have a
I'm sure it's gonna be good. I mean, look, it's no Supergirl.
I mean, few things can be.
This is a very stark difference here is you have actors embodying characters in this film, like actually acting like characters. In that movie, you have some actress being herself as Supergirl, and you have Jason Momoa being himself as Lobo, which I've said this before. I don't mind him being himself as Lobo as much as like other people may not like it. It's like he's about as close as you're gonna get without getting a real character actor to play Lobo, and I don't know that you're gonna find a lot of character actors that want to play Lobo, so could be
No.
fine, but
Yeah, it is what it is.
I think
like
the
with the right
writing
director
was
and the
the
right
problem with
script,
that.
it could be better.
What'd you say, Greg?
Oh, but they had. I think it's the writing for me. Like
Yeah.
Millie Adcock or whatever. Like she's okay, but I just feel like they completely missed what that whole story was supposed to be, what the meaning of it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
They
but here's
changed
the
it so
thing, though.
drastically.
Here's the thing, though. That's what's funny. It's funny because when they stay true to comics, some people don't like it. But then whenever they change stuff, people are like, "Oh, they changed it too much." Like, I mean, it's like there's no pleasing anybody.
So
The movie
but
sucks.
they
because the
undercut
movie
it
sucks.
so bad. Like it's
The
it's
movie
like they
sucks
really
because
didn't
it
understand what the
sucks.
message of that was supposed to be. I
Well,
don't mind if they change
brought
it.
the dude who wrote it on the set.
I know, which sucks. Like,
Yeah,
and I've
no,
tried to
now
read some of
you
his other
know.
stuff,
Now
and it
you know
just
what Tom King
eh.
is. He's horrible.
He's
But
a
he knocked
CIA
it out of the
agent.
park
He's
on
a
this
Fed.
one. Like,
He
did
is
he
horrible,
understand what the message of his thing was? Because he
No.
undercut it completely with this. And
He
I
didn't
think
write
it's
it. That
to
was
set
written
up
in a
the next
black room
time.
with CIA. That was written in a black room in the CIA headquarters.
Well, it's
be really
supposed
fair.
to be like Supergirl's progression and kind of her coming to terms with what it, but I don't
Yeah,
think they
we've
can
all
have
read it
that in
'cause
the
it's the
next
only
movie.
good Tom King story. I have it.
True, but
I have like 3
I think
different copies of it.
it's great, man. I just bought it for my wife
It's all right.
for Christmas last year. I read it again. I really enjoy it, but yeah, it just I don't know, man. It
Okay,
feels like he didn't understand, and I think
okay,
that's to set up so that you don't have essentially two Supermen in the next one. Then you still
okay.
have
But
the
here,
darker version of
but here's the thing.
Supergirl, and
Here's the
then
thing, though. Here's the
she'll
thing.
get
We
that
don't
progression
we, we
later.
don't we don't need a dark representation of any super person because we've had it a zillion times before and it never works. It
I
worked
get you.
one time, Injustice. It worked in Injustice, and that was
I
an
think
Elseworld. So
it's
I
supposed to
mean,
be so that you kind of have this Lex Superman next time,
no,
and then
I
kind of the in
understand
between,
what
which
it
is
is.
Kara.
I
And I
get
think
it,
it sucks.
but my point is, it's now you can understand whenever I sit there and say, yeah, they totally changed what the comic was going to be, and on things that I don't like, where you guys like Bob, you guys, well, I liked this, and I'm sitting here going, now you know what I feel like.
Yeah.
That shit, it was like completely not what it was supposed to be. They missed the entire point of it. And it bothers me sometimes whenever that happens. There's a reason why these stories sell. There's a reason why manga to anime is destroying everything. It's because
Yeah.
people get to see in the anime what they read on the pages. They get to see it brought to life. And it's like, I don't care about John Joe whatever's version of Spider-Man, you know? I just want to see what's reflected in the books. It doesn't have to be page for page, but it should be in the spirit of the character. And I
which
felt
is-
that
Well,
this
I mean-
was in the spirit of Spider-Man.
But
I
come
felt
on,
that it was.
James Gunn got away with it with Guardians. I mean, that means we can do it everywhere, right?
Ugh. Ugh.
That's why they brought him to DC.
I liked his Superman. I liked it personally. I didn't have as much a problem with it. I had a problem with the other stuff surrounding Superman. Like the stuff surrounding, I thought the Superman was fine, but some of the stuff surrounding Superman was not so fine. But
Yeah, well, like I said at the early part of this, like one of the bigger problems I had with it was like the screen time for all the other heroes versus which was what like what when I heard there was going to be all these heroes in this, I'm like, oh god, they're gonna it's gonna be like a Spider-Man and Friends movie. Like let's bring in Firestar and Iceman, why don't we? And let them all live in an apartment together. Like fuck it, let's go. But no, they didn't hog up the screen time and they were used effectively. And I wish they would have done that more with Superman, where like Mr. Terrific is used effectively, not a co-star, and Green Lantern, and like all of the rest of these guys are
I liked Mr.
tangential a little to him. I like Mr. Terrific too. I just like I didn't need him to be so pivotal. I needed Superman to be
Yeah,
the whole
I know.
thing.
I understand. I got you.
I mean, I have the same problem with the Batman movies. Like, I want a Batman movie that reads like or watches like a comic reads, and
Yeah,
the same with Superman. That's
I'm
what
kind
I'm
of,
kind of
I'm,
looking
I'm,
for.
I'm with Warren on this one. I'm really just kind of over the whole like street down to earth, like real term Batman. Like, I just want it to be like the
Yeah.
comic.
Well, that was the thing I thought about that I kind of agreed that I heard somebody said, I don't remember who said this on FNT, but like this Spider-Man movie makes all the Marvel MCU street level shit they've done look like ass even more than it
It
already
does.
does.
Yeah, I did
So,
not like their Daredevil. I liked Netflix their Daredevil. I thought was terrible.
Netflix Daredevil is that's easily one of the not even just like one of the just best series that Netflix ever did. Period. Comic book or not, like it was great.
I thought it was
So
great.
fucking
Yeah.
good.
But so yeah, we didn't really talk about Spider-Man's, transformation arc.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they didn't overdo it. Like
I'm kind of interested to see that they did. In all honesty, they didn't overdo it, but they didn't really close the door on it either. Like there wasn't really a solution. Like there wasn't like a is this done?
no,
getting
well,
Nancy
Please
back.
don't, Sony. Do not bring fucking Morloon into this. I will shoot the movie out of a fucking cannon into the sun. Don't do that shit. Don't. No. No spider totem shit.
Oh my
None
god!
of that.
Can you imagine it, dude? Can you imagine a big giant wood piece coming? I haven't put it through yet. Hold on. Beep, beep. Come on.
Don't, Sony. Don't. Fuck.
Oh my god, it would be so bad.
Oh
And
no, I
the way
don't want to see that.
and I was kind of talking about this about like how they always like we have to hide our secret identities from our loved ones. It's like, no, you got to hide it from your villains. Your loved ones, they should know. Like I've always like Kyle
Yeah.
Rayner, yeah, the first thing that happened to Kyle was terrible, right? It was horrible, right? But there was no way around that to begin with. Even if someone
Oh
did
yeah.
know, he didn't even know at first. He had no idea what was happening, And
Oh yeah.
then what happens right after that? He goes to that weird planet. That weird girl steals his ring. You find out it's another Green Lantern that lost ring, but they can't use Kyle's ring. So what does she do? She shoots herself in the head because
Dude,
that's how
like I
you
said-
pile. That's how you pile on. That's how you do it. And I
And
thought
see,
they did a very good job with this. That whenever he finally did take off the mask in front of her, like she wanted to see his face to see if she remembered. Like, is this true? Is this what was written down here true? She wanted to see his face. Could it jog a memory? Or it also tells where she is in her life. Because if you remember the conversation she was having with him, where he said, my boyfriend would say I'm withholding. And he's like, well, your boyfriend kind of sounds like a jerk. They were having that like back and forth, and she was feeling a connection to him. And when she reads that, it's like that scene had so many layers to it. I thought it was great. Like I thought it was awesome.
Oh, that was. I thought that was
of the movie were very well done. That was something that would happen in a Spider-Man book. That is something that would happen.
And I liked that. Like it there again. There was something still there because when she saw him, it did spark a memory. Like it took her all the way the fuck back to not long after it happened. And it's just like, okay, is that
Copy story.
Is there something still there? And that and then you see them like they're hanging out in the apartment. Him and Ned are like building Legos and shooting shit like it was back in the day kind of thing. And it was like that was so great. And like at the end when you finally get you get to the end of the movie, the third act is finishing. You've got Metzger's disappeared or whatever, and everything else. And so I guess at the part where we got near the end of the Jean Grey thing, Frank goes up, and this is one of those things that's very Frank Castle's like, I'm going to solve this problem. I'm just gonna pull out a 50 cal and shoot it from a mile away. That moment, like when Peter, I was like, did Peter like you hear it? I'm like, did he really take the bullet? And like, fuck, dude, that was such a good scene. And again, I think any other character could have been there in that moment other than Jean Grey to do this. That's the kind of like I almost feel like Jean Grey is in there as the MacGuffin in a name, and you could swap her with any telepath that exists in the Marvel universe. Peter did the right thing in the right moment, and I love like seeing the after effect of that, seeing Frank like remorseful, seeing how he like fuck, I fucked up all like, and, seeing how he took that and like how and one of the statements he made like when he was on the ship of like how this isn't like a life, this is a fucking sentence that he's suffering through, and it's like
Yes.
I loved how well they captured Frank Castle even in a PG-13 environment. Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
what Marvel did with him in the Netflix series that they did sucked ass. Like I said, made it look like shit. Like give me however this film got made with good characterization and actually respect paid to who these characters are. Somebody, whoever, again, the writers of this need to have more work in the MCU. They don't have enough, and whoever greenlights their work, whoever's making sure that whatever the product of this is, yes, more of that. But there at the end, like, and when Peter wakes up and everything, and it's like the emotional beat on that, and going out there and him getting to see that like people do love and care about him, and it is like Frank cares about him. Frank is super remorseful, super shitty about that, but like that felt so good. It was one of those things that kind of in the old in the Maguire Spider-Man movies, it was so great. You got to see the city love him and how much they appreciated him. That was awesome. The kid doing the flip at him, I was like, oh fuck, that's so cute. Oh, I love it. I everything about the way they ended. But when you get to that scene, dead on at the end of the movie, he's in the bodega getting some food and shit, and there's Ned.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking, and he goes up and he's like, hey, and Peter, like, he's like, oh yeah, the guy from the party. And the handshake thing, and they do their handshake that they had that shouldn't be remembered, didn't exist because they didn't know each other. And I was like,
that was true love's real kiss.
Yes, exactly. So in love. But well, that's just like, it made me have to think like, okay, I don't think the spell was as final as we thought it was, because how would they?
Right.
How
there
would
has
Ned
to be
have
a way
that?
for them to get back to where they were.
And that's what I love that they presented. So at the end of this movie, like at the end of the first Jonathan Hickman Spider-Man trade that I read, for the first time in a long time, I had hope for the character Peter Parker, and that's why this movie I felt so good about this movie, because at the end of the movie you had hope for Peter's life, for Peter's happiness, that he's going to figure his shit out, that he's going to get it together, and that he can get
We've been waiting
back to
so
where
long.
he's been. Dude, if you've been a Spider-Man fan and you read through, like in me, I got fed up. I couldn't take it anymore. I gave up. I was like, fuck this. I'm done with this shit. And every time I get even an inkling to start reading Spider-Man again, they do something like getting cucked by Mary Jane's boyfriend, who happens to be Venom now, and I'm like, fuck it again. I'm out. No,
he's got to pay his bills somehow.
Nope.
He has to pay his bills. You see,
it's like, why don't you just make a Spider-Man cover with him in a hotel tiny chair, for fuck's sake?
Listen, just because he paid Peter's bills and then banged Mary Jane out while he slept on the couch doesn't mean that he's not the real Spider-Man. Good God
damn!
Like, what the fuck?
But that's Marvel for you. But I could tell that the people involved with the making of this film, and especially whoever wrote that last scene, doesn't feels like I feel about Spider-Man, because he's like, you know what? I kind of want to. We know what we did in the last movie, but we're not going to leave that shit forever, because fuck that. That isn't, and that's the thing about Spider-Man. It isn't necessarily that the tragedy is what sells, or the tragedy what people like. It is how he constantly overcomes the tragedy. It is those moments when he goes through it, and at the end, there's hope after the tragedy. That's what makes Spider-Man great. It isn't the tragedy itself. It's how the man dealt with the tragedy every time he's had to face it and overcome it. That's what's interesting. That's what's great. That's what made Spider-Man more interesting than a Batman or Superman, because it made him more human. That's why he's Spider-Man. He's the superhero, period. He's the guy that drops $1 billion in a weekend gets from a film that you can,
sounds like
that has problems. In a film that has problems, you come out of the movie feeling hopeful, because you're like, That last scene fucking hit perfectly. That was the last beat that you needed to say. It's still there. This hope, this friendship, this thing that Peter had that you thought he lost, and we spent the first part of the movie showing you for the last 4 years. It's been gone, and he hasn't even had it in his life. It's just
So did you guys
nothing.
like? What did you feel about like that after credit scene? I felt like I watched a whole bunch of credits for.
That was it. Yeah, I shouldn't have sat through it. It was a waste of time.
I should have just looked up what it was. What did you think,
Yeah,
Greg?
I could have watched that on YouTube.
Come
I
on,
was like,
man.
no,
It's a
was a goofy
callback.
note.
And it goes hand in hand with the previous scene, the ending scene that was perfect. It's a button on that using the app. Like, oh, it's great.
But it wasn't.
There's a couple interpretations of it that I've heard that I don't know. It seems like it's a direct tie-in.
That's all.
Well, but it was still showing one in Queens. So I don't know. It was showing a second one, I thought.
No, that was the last notification because it's like tracking where he's been or something like that.
Going. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, there could be more. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? You could be right.
Yeah, it's Secret Wars. There's going to be 3 Spider-Men.
There's going to be so many Spittermans.
Don't worry. At the end of this one, they'll integrate the Spider-Verse into Secret Wars, and we'll get Spider-Gwen at the end.
You're watching Secret Wars, and Doctor Doom is like Underoos, and then Miles Morales comes out as a cartoon with his stupid fro, and he's like, "What up, Dog? Yeah, what up, dog?" And then gives Molecule Man a sandwich, and then they're all good.
That's the end of Secret Wars right there, guys. Leaked right now on the internet.
That's the end of 2015 Secret Wars. He gives Molecule Man a burger that he had that was 9 million years old. No one ever gave Molecule Man a sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's all he was waiting
for. I hope we get a Howard the Duck.
Oh, we're going to get Howard the Duck for sure. I mean, it's just CG. They're just going to throw him in there. We've already seen CG Howard the Duck like twice now.
Duck titties. Woo! Duck titties. That's what I came for. Who's playing the duck? Sydney Sweeney. Woohoo!
Daisy Duck starring Sydney Sweeney.
Duck titties. Oh. Well, I mean, Gray, did you like the movie or did you not like the movie?
Yeah. No, I think it was really good. I think, again, it was the best version of this version of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So, yeah, man, I'm super into that. I wish it was just that. I think it could have been a great one.
Yeah.
But I think it's the best so far. And maybe that's a recency bias. Maybe I'll have to look at it. But
no, it is.
I don't know.
It is.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, the performance was better. Even Zendaya like had more character to her than normal. Usually, I'm not a big fan of her as an actress because I don't feel like she acts. She just shows up in a movie. She makes some facial expressions. She sighs. She says something quippy.
She acts exactly and then, how she talks in her interviews. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, which is still less annoying than Mark Ruffalo. Which again, Sony, like. Marketing was fantastic. You kept Mark Ruffalo out of it. You invited him to nothing. Like,
I'm just
good job, Sony.
The one element that's different in this is Destin Daniel Cretton, where you've got Chris McKenna and Eric Summers, the same writers from all the other ones. You've still got Zendaya from the other ones, but somehow they make you dig Zendaya's performance in this and it makes you feel. And then on the top of that, he also brings out Jean Grey and like the best version we've gotten of that. I don't know, man.
She's running
to me, I gotta give him credit for it.
I think he comes back in the next one for sure. I think that Sony needs to sign him for the next one. They need to sign these writers. Everyone, like after this weekend, everybody who like signed on to this movie is already booked for.
They should take him away from
whatever the next movie is
and just make good Spider-Man.
So
movies.
They already kind of canceled Wonder Man season 2, even though it was announced that they were doing it.
Oh
so,
yeah,
it looks like they're focusing more on these movies.
Dude,
it sucks, man. I wanted to know where Trevor Slattery was going next. Okay?
That was a given. Like the fact that
it was so good, though.
We're gonna get a season 2. I laughed my ass off. I was like, the only thing that's gonna get seasons with nothing good happening for it is Rings of Power. That's it, because they invested billions into that.
Okay,
Wonder
but
Man
look at like
is
any of
not
the
gonna get a season.
audience scores. I'm just saying, look at the audience scores on this versus
Yeah,
Rings
of the
Power.
10 people that
it's
watched
amazing.
it, yeah, the
was
7
great.
liked it.
True. Okay, I'll give you that.
You know, I mean, I'm
but
just
yeah, man,
saying,
that
like,
dude is going to be. He's
he's
going to be in great business and very soon. I know they're
Oh,
still
yeah.
talking Shang-Chi too, but I bet you they're going to want to follow up with him as many as possible.
I would say that we need to follow up with another Spider-Man, and they got to get
Shang-Chi, please. Unless Jackie Chan is directing it, I don't want to see it.
I would I would have a little more hope for. I don't know if the main actor could stand up to Jackie Chan's rigor.
Simu Liu.
Simu Liu's got a bit of a very opinionated gentleman that I don't know works well with people who take their craft super seriously, or their martial arts super seriously, anyways. But
yeah.
Well, he was good in Barbie.
he actually, that was the perfect role for him, like dead on Asian Ken, where you just don't say any. You're just standing there looking pretty with your shirt off. Yeah, you do that all day long. I think he's great at that. Perfect role.
All right. Well, what do you got? Do you got anything coming up, Savage Dad? Are you gonna do your commute videos anymore?
I've been doing those usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yeah, I'll probably be back to those Tuesday and Thursday. I've been kind of keeping up on those. Just me rambling on my way into work in the morning. Probably do a 3D. I would do a 3D printing video, but I got to make stuff for my kids. Start school Monday, and they want pencil boxes, so my
They
printers are
start school
occupied.
Monday.
Monday.
Dude,
Damn.
these kids don't start school till like September.
Oh yeah, my teaching semester doesn't start till early September, but no, they start on Monday. Yeah.
When do they get out?
They get out basically around Labor Day.
Damn, dude, my kids go to school way less than yours.
Well, I would imagine the state of Arizona is a notoriously dog shit education system in the United States, despite our per capita spending being incredibly high. Yeah, we don't get a lot of ROI on that. So they think spending more time in school will help. That, and they've actually lengthened the school year since COVID, because nearly every single child from, let's see, if you were in like third or fourth grade through sixth grade, or if you were in middle school during COVID, you kind of got fucked out of 2 years of like some really prime time education. So they're failing at math and reading, and none of them are at grade level statewide, and haven't been for a long time. It was just last year that they reinstituted standardized testing because of it. And
I lived in West Virginia, dude. Those nobody. I didn't see nobody with a mask on.
Oh, I'm sure
they didn't care.
They did Zoom school for as long as they could, and the children played video games through most of it.
Yeah, ours, like, they were off for about a week and a half. They brought packets back that you had to send back in, and then they were like, all right, fuck this. This is stupid.
No, they straight up took 2 years off here, dude. It was wild. There were lawsuits that never went through. They abandoned, because in Arizona, all of your children with like special needs, like if you've got even like from autism to speech impediments, all run through the public school system. It's where they're why we spend a lot on tax dollars. They abandoned all the kids, all the special needs kids, even the kids with severe autism. Like it's really messed up shit. That happened in school.
That's not low hanging fruit. I actually live in northern West Virginia, like right outside of Pittsburgh in the mountains. So southern West Virginia 100% applies, dude. That's why I say, like, there would never, if a like a land war came to the United States, right? Like, people talk about, oh man, the streets of Baltimore. You know where you don't want to be as like a soldier on foreign land? In the Appalachian Mountains. And then the next thing you hear is those
dudes, some of them hillbillies are definitely like them.
Those hillbillies, dude, they can shoot a fucking penny from like half a mile away. They're not missing. It's not happening. I've seen some super drunk banjo. Dude, like, I'm not even shitting you. I've seen dudes that make their own moonshine, right? I've seen the dude drink the whole goddamn thing in one thing, and then just pop out his guns and just pop, 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 and not miss shit. Those dudes are like they have to hunt for everything they eat. Like, and there ain't shit up there, man. Paimatumi, we went up there for camping, and I think I've told this story. I ran into this dude, and he was exactly what you thought he would look like. Right? His hair was like red down to here. He had like 4 teeth. He had like straw coming out, dude. A beard that was going up and down at the same time. I have no idea how. That dude was a marksman. It's the first time I ever saw anybody bow fish, right? That dude was on the bridge shooting fucking fish like it was nothing, and they were not close. And he was high as fuck. And I'm talking like he handed me. He's like, "You want to try mescaline?" And I'm like, "Yes." Dude was tripping balls. Yeah. He had a bunch of peyote buttons, and I ate 2 of them, and I tripped my face off. I couldn't imagine what the fuck that guy was doing. Shooting fish with a thing he had on his wrist, and then it was like, dude, it was insane. It was amazing. He had like the bow and then the wire, like the line around his wrist, and you'd go, and he was nailing fish left and right. It was amazing. But yeah, that's hillbillies for you, man. They're crazy, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure you know. I'm sure you guys know. Everybody knows the story of like some really good shooting people. Those guys, man, that's just, I don't know, man. I'd be terrified. Imagine like coming to this, you see like cities, and then all of a sudden you're making your trek through the mountains. You're fighting fucking bears, and then fucking Cletus jumps out at you, dude. Fucking wants to eat your face.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to marry my sister. You look at her and she looks worse than Cletus.
Or looks just like Cletus.
She is Cletus. He just turns around. But anyway, Gray, what do you got coming up soon, buddy?
New show real soon. Hold your breath for sure.
Like answer your phone and like actually talk to me for that to happen, though, right?
Dude, so that whole taking edibles and going to the show early, that really affected me yesterday. So I'm sorry about that. That's totally my bad. But yeah, man, we should definitely plan stuff. And new show soon. Other than that, come here, this very channel. Subscribe, ring that bell, because every Friday we get together with the last panel. And it's I think we're doing top 5 Kurt Russell movies next time.
Is it 5 or 10? I thought we said 10.
I don't remember.
Well,
Okay.
It's on there. So maybe we'll do 5 with like honorary mention. We'll figure it out.
We're talking Kurt Russell movies. Everyone's favorites. So
and then
you definitely Soldier better be on somebody's list.
And then I know it'll definitely be on my list. And then the week after, the show we were supposed to do tonight was the Steven Seagal tier list. I'm actually glad that we're gonna push that a week back, and I think Nightmares and Nerdscapes is gonna be on.
Oh,
and
hell
that'll be fun. And then next week when we do the Kurt Russell show, Derek from Dad's Turn to Talk will be on, so that's gonna be fun. That'll be interesting. He's
Indeed.
a good dude. I like him a lot. He's a funny guy. And I'll actually be allowed to swear. So, I did so good on that first episode, man. I didn't swear at all. I did not. And then my second episode, the first thing I said was, "Well, that's fucking stupid shit." And they're like, and I went, "Oh yeah, I can't swear."
I mean,
my bad.
Freaking.
Frackin' Howard the Duckin'.
Frackin' sheets.
Yeah. Fracking sheets. All right, guys. Well, have a good night, everybody, and we will.
Yes, hi everyone.